T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's going on, everyone? Before we get into the video, just want to take this time to tell you to go to the description, see the link at the top, hit that link and download the One Football app, guys. It's the one-stop shop for all your football needs. As you can see, it's got all the news right now going on, everything you need to know about Liverpool's season, what's happening, the squad, go through, see what's going on with all the individuals. You know, just check out all the details of the squad. And we know about those transfers, people. What more do we want to do, especially right now, to check out those transfers and see what is Listen, when it comes to Liverpool, there ain't even going to be any transfers. But you know what we got to do. We got to check anyway. Go through, check out latest scores, match reports. It's got everything, people. Everything. So just make sure you hit that link. Download the One Football app. Get it done now, people. Trust me, you will not regret it. No better place to go check your football news. One Football app. Download it now. Link is in the description, people.
Yes, lovely people. Hope you're well. It is Monday, the 30th of August. Happy Bank Holiday Monday to everyone in the UK. Shout out Matt Drifty. How are you brothers doing today?
If our 3-hour conversation prior to this has anything to go on, me and Matt are very emotional and upset, but I don't know if we got it off our chest enough to not bring it up again during this show, or whether it...
I can't board anymore. I'm starting to lose some faith, guys. You know me, man. I'm trying to stay positive, but I'm gonna be real. Like, obviously, we'll talk more tomorrow, because tomorrow is when we really have to sum up everything. But right now, as things stand, things don't feel right. They just don't feel right. Do you know what I mean? Everything just not feeling great right now around our club. And don't get me wrong, the result against Chelsea wasn't the worst result in the world when you consider they are going to be title rivals. But in terms of everything outside of on the pitch, off the pitch, things could be better, Drift. Can't lie.
Indeed. Just a bit of housekeeping, please, guys. Please smash the like button. I know we keep on saying this, but guys, it's not happening. So, guys, all you have to do is come off the live chat for half a second, hit the like button, and you're back in the live chat. When we say it is the easiest thing to do, and it's one of the most helpful things you guys can do to help us grow as a channel, please do it. It takes half a second, and we would really appreciate it. Jovanovic 8 says Klopp's treatment of Divock is awful and pitiful. He's solely responsible why he never fulfilled his potential with us. Also, have you boys seen Awanini this season in the Bundesliga?
I haven't. I haven't.
Well, he scored again. He scored quite a few goals. Yeah, Awanini's looked good so far. Yeah, I can't really add much to that. I don't know how he would have done at Liverpool. I mean, I not in a rude way, but I can't add any other thing to that statement because I genuinely don't know too much about him. I don't know. Suit us if you do well.
Obviously, I'm the resident Origi representative, so I'll address the beginning part.
Yeah. And
for all the amazing, phenomenal things that Klopp has done right and well, I do agree. One of his fuck ups is Origi, and that is coming from an emotional place, but at the same time, it's also even just coming from a sensible place, because if you really deep it, you can look at a lot of scenarios and you can think to yourself that a manager is at fault. So let me give you an example. Tammy Abraham has played 3 games for Roma, and if I don't say so myself, he don't look like the same player that I saw playing in the Premier League. He's looking real saucy, and he is looking like a good player. But you know what? Under Lampard, he didn't look anything like that. And you kind of have to say it probably was the system and the way Lampard had him playing that maybe restricted him, and now Mourinho's letting him off the leash. Now, at the same time, it's the player's responsibility. But in Origi's case, if you're not really getting any game time, then I personally don't feel like you can truly be blamed. And at the end of it, if when you do play, you contribute, whether you're a phenomenal player or not, or whether anybody rates Origi or not, Origi is a good goal scorer. Even if you don't think he's a good player, even if he's a good finisher. And I think the fact that he's had not that many chances, but when he does play, he scores goals, proves he's a good finisher. He's at least instinctive. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net because instinctively he is a striker. And a lot of the time, that's all we've needed. That's all we've needed a lot of the time, just somebody to just go hang and just put the ball in the net. So I feel like due to his loyalties to Firmino, who, by the way, is a phenomenal player, Klopp has definitely stifled Origi. So, yeah.
We'll agree to disagree.
No, I think there's some truth in that. I think,
no, that's what I was going to say. So it's
there's some truth in that.
Klopp has to shoulder some of the blame, but to say I think it's all Klopp's fault, I disagree with that. I think
no, it's not all. No.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't sit here and say he's been treated appalling and abysmal when Origi hasn't covered himself in glory a lot of the times he's played, sometimes as well. So
he's a human, man.
No, but and again, when people are saying he's the laziest in training as well, Klopp's not going to.
Now they're saying that. I bet they weren't saying that a couple of years ago when he had the enthusiasm to play.
But that's a couple of years ago, though, Drift. Like and look, I get.
Yeah, but I get taking advantage of.
I don't know. I think there's two sides to it. I don't think Klopp's without blame, though. That's one thing. I just don't think he shoulders most of the blame.
I think you know what?
I think it's a split.
Always done Origi as well. I think people forget how well Origi did in the year we won the league as well. Like people keep looking at last season as like the barometer for everything. Mane's done, get him out. Origi's like Bobby's finished. Like last season been a bad year. I feel like the fan base to a degree did get kind of spoiled with the phenomenal Champions League and Premier League back to back. And now anybody who's not lived up to that standard in any way, all of a sudden they're trash. Get them out. Get rid of them. The year we won the Champions League and the year we won the Premier League, Mane was sensational. And Origi and Bobby in their own right were also very, very good. So to all of a sudden, just because of 1 year when we fell off, just be like, they're trash, get them out, rest. Like, raw boy, all right, cool, fair enough. All right.
I don't know. The Champions League year, Drift, I'll be honest, I think he scored some clutch goals. I don't think he had a great season, though.
No, he didn't have a great season because he didn't play that often. But when he played, he massively contributed. He got a brace against Arsenal in the Cup that year. He scored against Everton. He scored against Newcastle. He scored in the Champions League. Like, he was getting clutch goals. He was just doing the only thing he could do, which was whenever he's playing, score a goal. Do you know what I mean? Like
the season we won the league, I don't think he had a good season.
No, the best season the year before.
The games he played in, he scored in, though. To my I can't really remember many games he played in, he didn't score in.
He played 42 games that season and scored 6 goals.
We're talking about 5 minutes off the bench, though, but we're not talking about
not just 5 minutes off the bench. It's not just 5 minutes off the bench. It's not Drift.
But I only remember him starting 3 games that season. But anyway, let's not make this about Origi for real.
This is what FSG have done to us.
No.
And someone just made the perfect point. And a lot of the time when Klopp played him, he played him in the wrong position, which isn't Origi's fault either.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, left wing and that.
That's true. But at the same time, we've seen him play or start as a centre player and him still drift over that side as well. We see Jota do it.
It's all right if he moves a little bit during the game, but when he's told to stick out there, that's totally different.
But we also see Jota do it. When Jota plays, Jota effectively starts as the number 9. Jota drifts out to the left and Mane comes central, which is what him and Origi were doing. And it worked with Jota still managed to score goals as well.
Well, let's just hope that Jota doesn't fall into the category of Origi where he realizes I scored 2 goals in 2 games, still get dropped for Bobby. Is this going to keep happening all the time? And then he loses his enthusiasm. Let's see, innit?
We will look, and I said I'm not even saying this is all Origi's fault, but I don't agree with the sentiment that it's all Klopp's fault. I think the player has to look at himself as well, and
I agree.
I think if Klopp's shown anything is that if you're hard working, you train well, you're going to get more chances than you don't. And if like, even though it was a joke with Bobby and Allison, the fact that as soon as they said who's the laziest in trainer, they both giggled and said Origi. The fact that Lonergan has said if you play like you do sometimes in training, you'd be a world beat, you'd be unstoppable, but he doesn't replicate. I think some of it has to go to Origi as well. And look, some of it might be a motivation thing, but some of it also comes down to him as well as a person. Because if if you feel as though you're not getting the recognition you deserve at Liverpool, or you feel as though you should be playing more games, then try and move on to a club that will allow you to do that. But at the same time, Klopp certain times last season, especially last season, I think last season highlighted it a lot. Mane and Bobby were massively out of form. Mane couldn't really be replaced because Jota was injured. Bobby could have been replaced and should have been replaced a few times that season and wasn't. And Origi didn't play. So
yeah, but we know that's because when Klopp's got his back to the wall, he just always reverts to type. It's one of his downfalls.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He's got no excuse for that. That's where I feel sorry for Origi, because there's certain games where I was looking at last season and I was like, right, Bobby is stinking out of the place, but Origi still can't get a game here. That's where I think that's what the problem lies in the situation.
And you know what? Tevez, Aguero, Hazard. Do you know how many top players I can name you that don't train? And people are like, he's shocking in training. You can't always judge someone in training.
No. Origi's not on those levels, though, Drew.
No, what I'm saying is, when those people are bad in training, nobody cares. But because you're not that superstar, it means that if you're not as hard of a trainer, then you can't get any pitch time.
That's
a double standard.
It's not a double standard when it comes to that. Like the three players you've just named, bro, some of the best in the generation we've just had. Like Aguero, Tevez, and Hazard, bro.
But you know what?
Origi's not close to that level.
I'm just saying, if there's anyone who can truly tell me when we really needed Origi, he hasn't shown up, then I'll be like, you know what, you got a point. But I know most of the times when we've needed him, he's actually come up for us, and I don't really feel like it's fair he's been shafted. But again, we're still talking about Origi. Let's move on.
I mean, I was gonna say move on, but we kind of got to stick on the situation with Origi. And the reason I say that is because, as you know, it looks as though we're not going to be signing anyone. So we sold Shaq, and the whole talk was we need to free up spaces for players because of the homegrown rule. Shaq, so we have got a free space now. Talk all summer has been, is Origi going to go? Who's Origi going to go to? Now, even the fact that we're not looking to bring anyone else in, do you think we should sell Origi, or do you think we will sell Origi? I've got the super chat saved. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, let me start off first. Do I think we'll sell Origi? As things stand, no. From what I'm led to believe, Liverpool won't sanction a loan fee, but sometimes when things get to the last minute, people's minds can change. Do I think we should sell Origi? In my opinion, yes, because I think we can upgrade on Origi, and not only that, he's not trusted by Klopp. Like, let's be real. The fact that what you said, Cal, was kind of spot on what you both said. There were players last season that were out of form. Origi still saw couldn't even get on the pitch. He was fit. He was fine. The fact that if you don't trust him means that it's pointless having a player there if you don't trust him, brother. If you don't believe what man can offer, and there's other players that are injured and you're still not going to play him, then you might as well, go and get someone who you do trust and see if you can upgrade. So, in my opinion, Liverpool should have been looking to do that a long time ago. We were talking about you got to be harsh, and sometimes you have to be. Because here's an example: you look at, say, Chelsea. It looks like they will tell their players, listen, you're not in the squad, like you're not going to play Rete, you better move, and they will kind of move on, but begrudgingly or not. I've seen a lot of reports say Origi's had, offers from the Bundesliga, but is unsure of them because he knows he's going to be a step down, and that's understandable. But at the same time, if it's going to further your career, it's best to leave. Not only that, Liverpool really, if they want to bring someone in, really, and I don't just mean paper talk, if they really want to bring someone in my opinion, they would have instructed his agent, Divock Origi is not going to play this season. He better find a new club. I don't think that's happening. What I'm reading is things like Liverpool will accept a decent offer, but as things stand, if he doesn't leave, then they're happy to keep him. Like, where's the shrewdness? Like, what's going on? Like, do you want to keep him? What's the point? If you're going to keep him, use him. But you don't want to use him because whenever there's injuries, you don't want to play the man. And then when you do play the man, you play him out of position. If you want a player to play at the best of his ability, no matter who he is, Divock Origi or not, play him in his right position and get a player that you trust. Because right now, I'll be honest with you, it looks like Divock Origi is not trusted by Klopp. So you're better off moving him on, in my opinion.
So, all right, Drift, I'm going to come to you, but I'm going to ask you a slight different question. So, Matt, completely agree with everything you just said there. Here's a conundrum, though. If Origi's sold the last day of the window, as you said, Matt, Klopp doesn't trust him. It's plain as sight for everyone to see. Who can Klopp go and get on the last day of the window who is trustworthy, is good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club and have a telling impact on the rest of the season? And what club is going to want to sell without us having to pay over the odds for it? Because that's the financial. That's the you, Drift. Do you even think it's possible for that to happen?
No, not in the slightest. And I said to Matt, it's one of the last things I said to him. And Matt said, save it for the show. Just before we finished our conversation. Even though Liverpool are very good at keeping things quiet, and we've done the Fabinos, the Firminos, and the Jotas just out of nowhere, we're like, whoa, where did that come from? They were really early in the windows. They weren't right at the end.
Jota was towards the end last one, bro.
Not really, but there was still about 2 weeks left. It wasn't like the end of the window like now. There was still about 2 weeks of the window left.
Would you call it an anomaly though, because of the pandemic? That's what I was going to say.
And even the fact that there was a pandemic, I guess, you could say things. But the way I look at it now, which is scaring me, Cal, is with social media, no matter how much you try and move in silence, and even though Liverpool are quite good at doing that, I don't think it would be able to be kept quiet with the heat of the way the transfers are bubbling up at the moment with 1 day left. So the fact that there's nothing even in the rumour mill, guys, we are actually not going to sign anyone. Everyone thought that I was just being negative when I was saying it. And I know, Cal, you was like, it's not that you don't believe what I'm saying, but you're just thinking, there's no way the club's going to be that silly. Yeah. And surely they will be. And a lot of people have been like, no, we'll get one. We'll get one. Everyone I've talked to who's a Liverpool fan in general goes, no, we'll get one. We're not going to get what we need, but we're going to get one. We're not even going to get one, guys. And as you said, who can they get on the last day? Leeds are having to pay 24 million for Dan James because they're doing it on the last day. And that's why my Man United don't
28 million euros, bro.
Yeah, and that's somebody that Man United don't even care about. They just want him off their books, bro. So imagine how much we're going to have to pay for a player who will actually impact the team if they've got to pay 24 million for Dan James.
Apparently it's 30 mil.
Oh, including euros, the add-ons, people are saying it's up to 30.
Actually, probably. So no, you guys are probably right. Yeah.
What hope in hell do we have if Dan James, all in total, is costing Leeds £30 million? And Man U have even made it obvious they do not want this guy. It ain't like he's one of their players who they play. They blatantly have made it obvious we don't want this guy, and they're still making Leeds pay 30 million. So who the hell, Cal, can we get on the last day that is going to influence our team in any way? Because that player, the other team aren't going to need a replacement for that guy that we're going to go and get.
All right. I need to ask a question. I wasn't even going to ask this question, but I think it's a nice little segue. I will get super chats read out shortly, people. You've just mentioned that Dan James is going to Leeds potential for 30 mil. Yeah. So we've seen a summer where we've sold Harry Wilson, but Harry Wilson, we won't be getting that money until next summer, apparently.
Yeah, that was 12. Was it 12? That 12? Yeah.
Grujic, we sold
10.5.
Neither of those two players are better than Dan James, by the way. Dan James is not better than.
This is what I'm getting to, Drew.
Yes,
we can't seem to sell Origi, and we ended up selling Shaq for, was it 9.5?
Yeah.
But in the same summer, we've seen Dan James potentially going for 30 mil. We've also seen on Chelsea's side, Tammy Abraham, Tomori, and Zuma all go for in and around 30 mil.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question now, guys. And I want us to be as unemotional about it as possible. Is Michael Edwards underperformed in the last two summer windows? And if so, him potentially leaving next summer, is that a potential reason why we may be looking to change the direction of our sporting director? No pun intended.
I got a feeling it's actually why he's not performing well. I reckon he's fed up. And I reckon, because I'm not going to say that he all of a sudden is going to be crap when he was the best sporting director we could have ever asked for about 3 or 4 years in a row. In my opinion, it must be, I'm sick of this shit. This budget is way too hard to work under. These conditions are way too stressful to work under. And I've just been pulling miracles out my arse and I'm sick of doing it. And maybe knowing he's going to bounce makes him not even give a shit.
Drift, let me add to that, yeah. Listen to this, Cal, yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're saying may be true, but I also look at
I'm just asking the question.
No. This is I'm not saying this on you.
This is the first time it's kind of hit
that you're thinking about now, innit?
Yeah.
No, 100%. Because I was saying to Drift, yeah. Like, so I hear this now. What you're saying could even be true as well. Like, I know you're asking the question. It's not necessarily your opinion, but here's another thing. Michael Edwards, yeah, came into Liverpool with his data analysis or whatever, and set us up to how we are now. The man's done miracles, yeah. Let's be real. He sold Coutinho for 145 mil. He there added a clause that if you want a Liverpool player for the next 2 years or 3 years after that, I think it was 2 years, they need to add 100 million premium to what they were going to get. That's a clause that no one should even agree to. You got them to agree to that. He sold Solanke for 20 mil. Dominic Solanke, yeah, was sold for 20 mil. Jordan Ibe was sold for 15. Man, like the left back, Brad Smith, was sold for 5 or 6, who had one game against flipping Southampton where he got 2 assists for Divock Origi. He's also sold, as you said, Grujic for 10.5. He sold my man Shaqiri for 9.5. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Remember when I said to you,
he put a 75 million pound clause in Bobby's contract, but said, but Arsenal.
Only Arsenal, yeah. All right,
you ain't got there's no clause that Arsenal can come for.
Ryan Brewster as well.
All right, so hear me now.
And he got 11 mil for Mignolet.
Yeah, so hear me now, lads, yeah?
No,
remember when I was saying to you?
No, he didn't, bro.
No, but guys, let me land quickly. Guys, let me land.
Got 11 mil for him.
Guys, let me land. Sorry, guys, I got to get this out, yeah? Now, so regardless of how much that tally's on for, yeah? Remember when I was saying to you, man, there's only so many games that this man can sell to go and get the new PS5 game. Bruv, he has used all of his resources. My man has scraped the bottom of the barrel to try and get to maximize profit out of all the players that we don't want, and teams can clearly see we don't even want anymore. There's only so much a man can do. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with Drift on this one. Bruv, how many times can he sell a player for over the odds to then know that he has to make a certain amount to go and put that towards another transfer? But I'm not gonna lie to you, that must get kind of long. That you're always having to start from negative and you've got to somehow turn that into a positive. You're not even starting from black. You're starting from red and you've got to try and make green. Do you know how taxing that must be? No pun intended.
But here's where I flip it on you guys now. So the deals you said, you said Solanke, Ibe, Smith,
Brewster, you said.
Brewster was last summer, so I'll give him Brewster. But I'm saying in the last couple of summers, so last year's summer and this summer. Last year's summer, we could have sold Wilson for more than we sold him this summer. Could have done the same with Shaqiri. Could have done the same with Grujic. And I think we could. And the Origi.
But it wasn't a buyer's market. That's the
Let me land, Matt. I hear what you're saying.
Go.
But we could have sold them for more. Yeah, which would have, in my opinion, potentially would have brought in more money and probably allowed us to add the centre back last season and maybe one other players. Now, if I was to flip it on you guys and I was to say, look, back in 2 seasons ago, Klopp was phenomenal, but for the last 2 seasons, Klopp hasn't been good. We wouldn't sit here and say, we've got to give him more time and we've got to let him off because he delivered a couple of seasons ago. We'd be kind of be on his neck. And look, this is not me trying to say FSG get away with it, because FSG, in my opinion, they are the most at blame here. They are the ones that push the first domino, innit? And they're the ones that keep on kicking the dominoes in the middle when it's about to stop. But is Edwards kind of getting away and going under the radar a little bit? In the same way, has Klopp been getting away with certain things and going under the radar with his lack of rotation potentially, and the fact of in the last game, his negativity in making substitutions, or should I say naivety in making substitutions? Has Michael Edwards been getting away with a little bit? And no, I am not FSGing before anyone else.
Bruv, he's made, in my opinion, yes. So, all right, so if we're going by last summer where he could have got potentially higher fees, maybe for a Origi or whatever, yeah, he might have had a summer where he could have done better. But overall, you know, when we tally things up, when you look at it overall, bro, we can't sit here and
that
say
is a top message.
we can't sit here and say Michael Edwards ain't done what he was supposed to do. So when he even signed on that dotted line, he realized what he had to do. But brother, I'm not gonna lie, it must get taxing. He's been doing it for 10 years. He's having to sell Deadwood, who we consider Deadwood, and make other teams think that they're gems. Like, bro, can we just deep this for 1 second, yeah? We sold Dominic Solanke for 20 mil, bro. Like 20 mil. This brother there done absolutely nothing. Coutinho, who we admired and thought was world class at that time, was still kind of inconsistent only up until maybe his last 2 years where he really started to come to fruition and be consistent. But we got 145 mil for him. Bruv, we sold who did we sell to Germany who has never played first team football? Is it Awanini? Did we sell him for 5 mil?
Yeah.
But we sold him and he hasn't done absolutely nothing. Michael Edwards has made mistakes. Don't get twisted. Yes, he could have got more, maybe for Origi a year before, or even Shaqiri. But the problem was that they were banking on thinking these teams would come back in, and it was a mistake. But if we're going to sit here and really criticize Man and say he's had one real bad summer, I think it's a bit harsh. I think he's done all the best that he can.
I think it's two.
Let's say 2, but 2 out of he's been there for 10 years, bro.
Not in his position, though. I was actually trying to find the detail as to when he moved into
Danny Ward, 12 mil, bro. Danny Ward.
No,
he can't even get a game at Leicester.
No, I hear you. What I want to be clear about is I'm not saying I don't rate Edwards. I'm just in the same way. If Firmino, Mane, or Salah had 3-4 bad games on a bounce, I'd be like, does their position in the team need to be questioned for their next game?
It's different.
I'm just written about what I'm asking. He was promoted in 2017, I'm guessing.
Okay.
So he's had the 2017 summer, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So 2 out of the last 5, and which are the 2 most recent, haven't been great. The 3 prior to that, superb.
Agreed.
And again, I get where you guys are coming from. FSG. I fully do. But I have got to ask the question. Is Edwards underperforming as well, regardless of some of the restrictions?
I think for me personally, and I'm going to leave it here and I'll let Drift take over. For me, he's done the best that he can. Yes, he may have underperformed just like how anyone would in, like, for example, we're talking about players. Mane underperformed last season. So you're always going to have that transfer window where it's like, oh, bro, you could have got more for him or you should have done it season before. I hear that. But I think overall, I think he's done us a really good job. And I think if he does leave, he's going to be sorely missed because even though we're promoting his assistant, apparently forward.
Julian Ward, I believe.
Yeah, Julian. Yeah. I'm going to be real. Bro, there's only a certain amount of times. I think I said it to Jay, if you could turn water into wine. Bro, he's running out of dead wood to sell. And not only that, do you know what makes it even harder, Cal? If Klopp ain't playing the players, so say we want to sell Origi, they're going to look at Origi's appearance record and go, this brother didn't even play. He ain't even rated. And Liverpool are asking for 15 mil. They must be off their rocker. I'm at R7. These are the things that's happening. And remember when I was saying to you about Klopp trying to boost certain players? Maybe that's part and parcel of it. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But this is what I'm saying. Klopp has to kind of do his own thing as well and try and spin it and be like, the Oxlade-Chamberlain, false 9. He's worth 25 million pounds. So Edwards can go, yeah, see, this guy's a baller that we're trying to sell. He can't do that anymore, bro. We've run out of players to sell. And the problem is, we're sell to buy. Unless you sell a player, we can't do nothing. We're frozen right now. We are frozen right now.
See, and that's another thing I was going to say. This is where I do sympathize with Edwards, is because with Chelsea, for example, and I know people say, oh, but they're backed by Roman. Yes, they are. But look, they're our competition, so we've got to speak about them. With Chelsea and Man City, even if they didn't sell anyone this summer, I'm almost certain Lukaku and Grealish would have still been at Chelsea and Man City this summer. I'm almost certain. But the fact that they've sold just makes it look better on the books. So when they're negotiating with clubs can't really turn around and say, well, no, I'm not going to sell him because they need to make the money before we can sell him so we can barter a little bit. Because they don't know Chelsea's like routine on what they're going to do. Everyone kind of knows ours. So if we were to go and buy a player for 50 mil, they know Liverpool are going to be looking to recoup that 50 mil. But I tell you what, we're going to sit down and we're just going to wait, because we're not just going to give them all the money they want for a certain player. We'll just run it out. And I think that is what is starting to happen. I think our model is starting to get found out a little bit. So I'm going to bring it back to FSG a little bit. And obviously we've got an FSG in versus FSG.
Never gonna lie, I do have to say something about this Edwards thing, though.
Okay, go through, Drew.
All right.
Sorry, just one thing. Just people in the comments. I don't know if you've just joined. As the host of this particular show, I've got to ask Matt and Drift questions that are going to make them thinking. I can't just be sitting there saying, I want them out, I want them out. Like, if you've watched the show enough, genuinely, if you've watched the show enough, you will know where I sit with the whole FSG thing.
Agree.
Like, Matt and Drift know behind the scenes, I was the first to start flagging stuff about FSG to them well before it became fashionable. So
everyone knows you're just on that advocate.
Yeah, you got to ask. It's a debate show. You ask questions to make us think, innit? That's the point. Yeah.
But yeah, let me just get this out of the way real quick so we can move on to your next point, right? I like to make things easy with analogies. It makes it easier for me to explain what I'm trying to say. Might make it easier for you lot to understand. And I'm going to come from a place I know, and Matt can fully understand where I'm coming from with this as well. You're manager of a retail store. Christmas is coming up. It's the busiest time of the year, and you know it's going to be flooded with customers. You're going to be rushed off your feet. You've only been given a £20,000 budget, and you've got to find a way to make that pay your staff. And we're talking about for the whole month, yeah? So you've realized, shit, you're going to be about 3 or 4 men down each day if you base this out on what your budget is going to be giving you. But you know that amount of staff ain't going to cover the amount of people that are going to be in the store. You are going to look at the end of the year, if you compare it with all the other stores in the franchise, like you underperformed as a store, and as a manager, you didn't do a good job. Your budget's going to be down. Complaints are going to be up. The store's going to look more trashed. It wasn't as clean. People are making complaints. People were stealing because there wasn't enough people to watch things. Like you're going to look like you were bad throughout that Christmas, yeah?
It's a shambles, basically.
Yeah, it's a shambles. But let's be honest, even though there might have been a few things you could have done better during that time as a manager, maybe there was a few things your staff could have done better. When it really comes down to it, why are those staff members annoyed? Why they're not pushing themselves that little bit more to do a little bit more? Because they're feeling rushed off their feet, they're tired, they're exhausted. Certain of them ain't even had their break yet. You as a manager, you're already on the shop floor helping. You shouldn't even be on the shop floor, but you're even being forced. So there's certain duties upstairs you can't even take care of because you're now doing other people's jobs because you got to fill in and do that. Who's really at fault? Even though you lot all made the mistakes, the head office and the people in charge who gave you that dead ass budget and forced you into a situation where you now had your back against the wall for the entire month leading up to Christmas. So on face value, yeah, you as a manager and your staff look slack. This shop is a shambles. What the hell is going on? But really and truthfully, it was head office and the people in charge who put you in that situation. So I agree, Cal. Edwards is 100% underperforming. Klopp, to a large degree last season, was 100% underperforming. But the pressure these lot have been put on by the proper budget and the shit-ass situation FSG put them in to work under is the real reason why everything is going wrong. At the end of the day, it's as simple as that. Everybody who's making mistakes at Liverpool underneath the hierarchy are making those mistakes because the hierarchy are putting more pressure on them than needs to be. And it all filters down, all the way through, right down to the fucking dinner ladies.
Can't argue with that. I've got no devil's advocate to play with that. Hi, Callum. It's my brother's birthday today. Can you drop the beat for him? Kai, we can do indeed. Happy birthday to your brother, Kai. Let me find the beat and drop it for him. Happy birthday, brother of Kai.
Happy birthday, man.
I got a shout out to someone called Gab as well. I was out and about and bumped into a subscriber of ours called Kai. No, it's called Gav, sorry. So Gavin, shout out to yourself. He had lovely things to say about us, lovely things he said about the Kopish community. So very humbling when we hear and see people out and about and they have nice things to say about us and you guys who have helped us to grow to the level we are today. So shout out to Gavin, to everyone who's in the chat and everyone who watches our channel on a consistent basis. Nothing but love to you guys.
That's all, man. I
All
was
right,
going to say, Carl, before we move on to the next, because you know we're
super
going to
chat.
keep rolling. Let's get
Yeah. On
Yeah.
that right now, sir. On that right now.
Shout out to all my Blackberry Brandy crew as well. This is the only thing getting me. Cal, we're gonna have to get you a Maggie before tomorrow night, though, because you're gonna need it, bro.
No, my diet. To be honest, no. To
Yeah,
be
it's
honest,
not strong enough, bro.
my diet started now. So I got a shout out
Bruv,
to
I can find you some Bud Light that's got no calories, bro.
no, my diet's back started now. So shout out to
There's
Sam's
diet
Fitness.
beer now.
He's got me training again still.
Oh,
Genie Houdini, remember when Thanos had to sacrifice his daughter for the Soul Stone? FSG sacrificed transfer for Naby's health. So man, just dashing the money off the clip, yeah, and just putting Naby in the cryo chamber. Oh boy. Ason says FSG inners the type to see FSG burn their house down and thank them for the warmth. Where is the big plans we were promised last season? Hashtag FSG out.
We were promised a lot. We were what was it? They said no. Next year will be a big summer, guys. I swear that's what it was, isn't it? That was the whole play on it.
Yeah, although that never came directly from FSG, but again, that's where conspiracy theories and stuff come in, because I believe they have people who they speak to in the media that they ask to send stories out, just as all these other owners do. So that's a topic for a different show, though. Bashar says, I also understand why Shaq left without a goodbye message. I also don't understand why Shaq left without a goodbye message and Klopp said nothing about his departure. I don't think Klopp was asked anything about Shaq's departure, but Shaq did leave a goodbye message. He did leave a goodbye message. He did.
And I don't think Shaq left in a bad way with anyone.
No,
I don't think so.
King of Pogu says Origi ain't good enough. Drift, get over it. Mr. Dare I Say It says 1920 backup right back, 15 mil to 20 mil. 2021 Thiago, Jota, Simicast, Kanate, 121 mil. 21-22 Basuma, Vlahovic, Bowen, 130 mil. Now that is hard to ask for if we plan properly. It's
not hard to ask for at all, bro. It's actually completely reasonable. Like
whether it happens or not, though. Silver Spring, 19 Premier League clubs have outspent us this summer. Just keep a hold of that thought, because I want to ask some questions based on that as well.
Is that fact? Yeah,
possibly. Khalid says, Khalid Abraham. Khalid Abraham says, yes, lads, hope you're well. Drift, remember what I said a few days ago, my man. I don't want no more pet memes. Please, let's keep it how it is, because as a City fan, that meme is actually hilarious, you lot. Oh,
yeah. No,
I don't have the capacity.
I think he was saying to me like it was cruel and it was too funny, and he don't like laughing at his own manager or something. Like, I was like, sorry, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie. That the thing is, even though Pep's the one doing it, anytime we don't have the capacity, like it's just unfortunate that it's him. Like we have to drop it. Like
John II, Leighton Stewart is better than Origi, with all due respect. John, I'm going to ask you based on what? That's all I'm going to ask.
That's just to put Origi down for no reason. That's what that is.
John Moore, thank you very much for becoming a member of ours. Guys, if you want to become a member where you get exclusive videos and much, much more, click the link in the description. Also, while you're there, check out our merchandise store. Hats, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies.
This won't be on sale for much longer either, guys.
It won't.
This won't be on sale for much longer.
975 Jamrock says there's some inconsistency between Neil Jones reporting Origi does well in practices and Klopp not playing Origi. Klopp normally rewards good practice.
That's what I wanted to say, Cal, but I didn't want to keep going on about Origi because I get it sounds weird when I keep doing it. Remember, we've actually had people tell us, in training he's actually good, which makes even less sense, Cal, why he doesn't play in the game.
No, I think so. Again, this is me hearing what someone said and kind of thinking what I heard. So I might be completely wrong here. So just a little caveat there. I think what he was getting at is when Origi's up for it, he's unplayable, but he tends to be lazy in training. That's what I gather from that. But when he's
I
up
didn't,
for
I
it,
didn't
he's
hear, I
unplayable.
didn't hear the lazy part. I just heard the why don't he transfer it onto the pitch what he does in training?
Which is probably true. I mean, we saw him sit a Kanate down in one of the training videos. Saw him sit him on his bum. So it's not like he hasn't got quality there, but we'll never know what's going on until he releases a book, maybe. Kadir says FSG have ruined us. I feel absolutely devastated that Klopp and the fans have been shortchanged for the season after season after season. I hear that. I got a Kopish shirt and hoodie and even treat my wife to one. Yes, big up, Jamie. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Even my missus is now saying she wants to cop some stuff. So it's about time you support.
Because when you see it in real life, you're like, "Oh, the quality's alright, isn't it?" Like, you get me, bro. Looks like Nike made it in that. You're like, I know.
I'm not gonna lie. When I want a little piece, I might just wear the top with no boxes still.
Do you know what though? For some reason, I feel like it's even better with like she puts on the man's one and then just does one of them knots or something.
No, I'm talking about me, bruv.
No, I'm talking about the missus wearing. So my mind was somewhere else.
Mr. Dare I say said Drifter. I said for May we're not signing anyone else. Yeah, you did actually. I remember that. To be fair, to hear Koreshi said the bench, not the first team, is worth noting. In terms of the bench, not the first team, is worth nothing. I'm not sure what you mean by that. To hear, just get back to me on that one. AA says breaking news: Paul Joyce confirms Don Edwards will sign an extension tomorrow, 11 p.m. deadline. Drama. I doubt it. 9075 Jamrock says, how many players did Edwards allow to leave on a free? Honestly, Jamrock, off the top of my head, I'm not too sure. I'd have to actually go and have a look. I know obviously the two of the biggest ones are maybe Emre Can and Genie. But to my knowledge, Edwards would have come in 2017. So Emre can't really be blamed for that either. No, in fact, Emre left in 2018. Yeah, maybe those are the two biggest, to be fair, Jamrock. But again, if you've actually got that information, I'd love to know, please, bro.
Plus, you remember, when it comes to those type of things, there's still going to be a limitation to what the club let him do. Like, Edwards doesn't walk in with the power to do anything he wants. He walks in under a strict condition. So if FSG go, the most you can give Genie is 130, Edwards can't do nothing but just convince Genie 130 is good enough. He can't pull the extra money out, can he? Do you get what I mean? I don't really think stuff like that can be blamed on Edwards, to be honest. And Klopp voiced his opinions to the hierarchy very strongly. I do not want Genie going. And they didn't even take the instructions of the man they put in charge to win us stuff. And Klopp, actually, I know he doesn't talk much, but even you saw it as well, Cal. In the interview, he said it. He actually went, I stressed I want Genie here. But things couldn't be worked out, and we wish him well and we love him and we'll miss him. Like, he actually told us a little insight, like, I told these guys, do not let Genie go. So this one can't be put on anybody but the owners. Like, the manager said, do not let him go. Now, what more do you need to know the owners give man too hard of a restriction to work under? Like,
fair dues. John Moore just said, Drifty, if we don't bring in anyone, what's your thoughts on FSG? John, I can tell you, it's going to be absolute flames. We are going to be live tomorrow evening, so you're going to see live reactions when the window shuts. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how I'm going to be. I'm not going to lie. I've got apple ties in the fridge. I don't know what I'm going to be like tomorrow. KJ Brown says, do you think Buvac had a great input in transfers? I think so. The fact that him and Klopp were so close, I would be surprised.
Targets, but not acquiring them.
No, not acquiring, but I think they definitely would have had conversations about they would have.
Target selection, 100%. Yeah, target selection. And it's quite funny, Cal, when you see the relationship he had with Buvac, as much as they were such buddy pally, loved each other, and they've been through a lot, he never was affectionate with Buvac, though. When you see him with Pep, they are very affectionate.
No, he was affectionate with Buvac, bro. They used to
not like this, bro. Like certain times I'll just see him and Pep bro, they are very affectionate, bro. He weren't like that with Buvac, bro.
He was, bro. Go back and watch, bro. He was. Him
and
Buvac.
From what I remember seeing, though, it'll be like a little hug and a handshake, but it wasn't like, that embracing you close your eyes for a moment. Like, I see him and Pep, like, they close eyes when they hug and stuff. Like, it feels different. It feels different, bro.
I've actually got to give a little shout out to Grizz and Avi from LFC Day Trippers as well, because I actually knew about the whole Michael Edwards thing a couple of days ago, but obviously I just didn't want to say anything. But that's probably why I'm not as surprised and why I've probably thought of more questions than you and Matt, because I knew about it for a couple of days. I just didn't want to say anything because I was hoping, one, it wasn't true, and two, we'd pull out something out of the bag. But Avi and Grizz put me on that quite early. Jovanovic 08 said, very disappointed we didn't do a swap deal involving Ox and Ings. I don't know if Ings would have come back. That's genuinely, I don't know if Ings would have come back. I'd have loved to have had Ings back. Everyone knows that, but I don't know if he would have come back. You could
Ronaldo signed for 25, Dan James sells for 24.
Who's that, sorry?
I said Ronaldo signs for 25, Dan James leaves for 24. Yes, sir. Go on. It just literally just come into my head, sir. Go on, keep going, bro.
What can you do? What can you do? Ace on Industry says that Edwards is doing the Dan James deal for Man United for FC. Good timing on that.
What are you saying, man? Man's done that inside job, yeah.
Ace Bet Limited said lack of rotation has a part to play in low fees for fringe players. The narrative is we have an elite 11 and average squad players. We have more deadwood than other squads because our fringe players play less. That's, I think, a lot of good points.
There could be some truth to that.
There are, to be fair. Genie Houdini says other clubs are looking at Liverpool like that new neighbor who moved into a rich neighborhood, beautiful house, but can't afford any furniture and mattress on the floor. Very true.
When you come round, you're like, hold on. It's all an illusion.
Troy M said, remember when FSG said that they wouldn't take the Super League penalty from the club? Technically, they have slyly still taken it from the club indirectly by their lack of spending. I don't even know how much the fee was, to be fair. I genuinely don't.
And you know the worst thing about it is that out of all the owners, even though I feel like our owners run our club better than all the other owners that were involved, their owners actually have kind of tried to make up for it with the transfer window, while ours have gone, nah, fuck you lot. You screwed us on the Super League. Imagine that, because that's what they're doing, you know. If you really think about it or you try and find explanations behind it, I would not be surprised if they had all of the money, all touted up, all happy, thinking about all that Super League money, and once they realize they weren't getting it anymore, they're now punishing us by not buying us. Nobody, bro. Nobody. Because don't even count Kanate, because we're in the green in terms of money in to money out this transfer window. We've made 5 million more than we've
spent. All right, this is where I want to come to, though. So again, key that, because I don't think you can discount Kanate, but this is where I want to come to shortly. Shout out to LFT Sports TV. It was my birthday Wednesday. Go and drop the beat. There you go, sir. Happy birthday for Wednesday.
Sorry, this is hilarious.
Just raining, baby. It's just raining.
It's just rain, man. It's just rain. It rains yellow a couple times a year.
Dinesh says, evening, everyone. Klopp, as is 14 and does not play the players who get injured. Has 14, does not play the players who get injured and play them when they are fit to play, or does not trust them. I think it's a case of he doesn't trust the fringe players. Like that was so evident against Chelsea, in my opinion. It was evident last season as well. I don't get it. Doogie says, do you think FSG spend Liverpool profits on baseball? No, because Red Sox fans are fuming at the moment as well about the lack of funding there as well. So no. 9075 Jamrock says, Drifty, you are misinformed about Edwards' role. Could you clear it up for us then, Jamrock? Gangan Deep says, this infuriates me. No more signings. We don't win the league, in my opinion. Quality and depth is essential. I want to hear what the FSG owners have to say if no more signings mean we go trophyless. That's interesting. Abhishek says, with Buvac as assistant, I think we would have got more out of this squad. Linders and Klopp combo have made a difference, have made the defense astute, but attack has become one-dimensional. Remember when I got slated for saying that?
What about Buvac?
I remember. Do you remember when I spoke about Buvac? I got 8 up.
I remember.
Yeah, no, but you know what? The only thing I'm saying
talk.
is we can't always go too far one way.
I got
I
8
think
out
the
of
way
you,
I think the way Pep shored up the defense was such a necessity that we can't complain because we always used to moan. We're banging in goals, but we're leaking like a bucket with a hole in it. So you can't just go completely the other way and then be angry that we
No,
shored up the defense.
I'm not saying that, but what I've always
No,
said
not
about
you,
Buvac,
Carl. I mean anybody
okay.
in general.
But what I will say about Buvac is when Buvac left, we had Virgil, Trent, Lovren, and Robbo at the back, right?
Mm. And we're
It was
still
Robbo.
letting in a lot of
No,
goals.
hear me out. Hear me out. It's Trent's first real season. It was Robbo's first season with us. Virgil had just signed. We went and then got Allison to shore up goalkeeper, and we got Fabinho to shore up the middle of the park in front of the defense. And it was Gomez and or Matip playing instead of Lovren a lot of the time as well. It's unfair, in my opinion, to say Buvac was leaky defensively simply because he had Karius or Mignolet in goal. He had Alberto Moreno. He had other players at the back.
No, but Cal, we still could have performed better defensively than we did, though. Regardless, we were a shambles at the back.
Brother, I hate to pin it down to one game, but against Real Madrid, we defended very well in that game, bro. But we lost the game 3-1.
During that game, I think the occasion as well made a lot of players raise up their, you know what I mean, their performances and stuff. But in general, I'm not even saying Buvac was the reason we were crap defensively, but the way we massively improved defensively cannot only be Virgil. Pep had a lot to do with why we became better.
I never said it was, but Allison and Fabinho coming in were massive.
It helped. That's true.
No, they were massive. They were massive. Allison and Fab, man. Do you know what, guys? Let me just break that ice a bit as well, because I'm
sorry, Matt. Let me get through the rest of the super.
Oh yeah, you get a super chat. Yeah. And I'm gonna bring some up.
Mr. Dare I say,
do this one first quickly because this one's confusing me.
Let me quickly just do this one. So us and Newcastle are the only ones to only sign one player. Yeah, that is facts. Jamrock says, Drifty, I need to know how I can make up stuff like how you make up conspiracy theories in your head. Is that a skill that I can acquire? My boss would rip me.
I wouldn't
know when I told Jamrock that he made up something that was...
No, he's saying that when you come out and say some of your theories, he's saying that's made up as opposed to fact.
What theory are we talking about?
Just like when you say why. So say, for example, if you were to give an example.
But that sounds to me like Jamrock is saying that I accused him of making something up. So he
says, I need to know how I can make up stuff like you do.
So basically, what Jamrock's saying,
okay.
Unless it's not, unless you haven't seen it in a report, you can't say nothing. That's what it sounds like. That's how I would read it.
First of all, that is a bit disrespectful. Still, I'm not even gonna lie. Secondly, even though I won't take it as disrespect, what have I said that hasn't been backed up by something I've seen or read? Because I don't just come off the cuff and just say things for the hell of it. Even if the report I read is wrong, then that's the person who's filling that filth into the world that shouldn't be doing it from reputable sources where I go to. I don't go and read things where people talk crap. I go to places that are supposed to be credible. I don't ever say anything that isn't based off something I've read. So, therefore, I ain't making shit up. And the fact that most people have heard the things I say also means I ain't making shit up. So I'm not even gonna lie. We'll have to readdress that one later down the line.
All I would say is respectfully, Jamrock, as well. I don't think
he meant it being disrespectful.
No. But you know how I take that? That's like saying you can't have an opinion.
Me of something, and I ain't made shit up. There ain't nothing I've ever said that I ain't read or seen with my own eyes. I ain't making shit up. I didn't just come on here and go, "Oh, you know, Klopp only eats beef at dinner time." You lot. Something I have absolutely no idea. I'm just making.
But Cal, for me, the whole point is that whether you believe in something or not, it's an opinion. So whenever we all three of us speak, it's an opinion, and you can disagree with it. And here's the thing: unless you work for Liverpool Football Club, literally work for them, you're on the books. No one can dare say think and say that, what I'm saying is sort of like, so to speak, Bible. Because even if you bring something factual, well, where's that fact come from? That fact has come from a journalist or a report that you've read. Are you sure that that report is 100% creditable? Because we've seen it like year in, year out. one person, one Liverpool journalist will say another thing, someone will say another thing, an overseas journalist will say one thing. So
all Jamrock said no, that's not what I'm saying. You're reading it.
Because a message can be interpreted a certain way. That's what I was gonna say.
It was meant to be disrespectful. So, say for example, Drift, you were speaking about Origi earlier, and you're saying, can't remember exactly what you're saying, but you're saying along the lines of he's not performing because he's unhappy and he's been unhappy and this and that. That's Jamrock saying that's a conspiracy theory, which effectively it is because it's an opinion based out of.
Oh yeah, little minor things like that. But that's just me going off of still being a human and seeing other people in those situations, or thinking if I was in that situation, that's how it would make me feel. It's still not made up. Do you get what I mean? Like that's not made up. But anybody you pushed out into the cold would feel like, what's the point in me like?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's what he's alluding to, is that we can't take our feelings to be what someone else would feel.
No, but that's not. To be honest with you,
I'm not saying that's made up though.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying if anybody interprets anything I say as that, it's my opinion and it's just what I think of the situation.
Yeah, it's not gospel.
I'm not saying you should believe me or it's a fact or you should even think the same way I'm thinking. I'm saying if you ask me, that's what I think is happening, or that's what I interpret from the situation. I'm not jumping on it just going, hey, see what you know. You need to listen to everything I'm saying because I'm right. And this is exactly how it is. No. I'm just like, look, if you ask me, I think this is what's going on. You know what I mean?
And to break the ice, I'm going to say this, Cal, before you get into it, just one quick thing. Because we all need to have a little laugh, innit?
Guys ain't the motherfucking MC. I know everything he's out to say against me. I am white. I am a fucking punk. I do.
No, we could get done for copyright at that.
Oh, swear down! Yeah. Don't lie.
So we don't have the capacity.
Oh, allow it!
Yeah, anything with music they can hit us with.
You should have taught. Yeah.
Bob, I told you better.
Flip side, yeah. You know what's gonna happen after the show, people. I'll let you into a little secret. As soon as I'm like, yeah, guys, I gotta shoot. All I'm gonna see is emergency call. These men are gonna be on me.
Yeah, that's why I had to cut it still. That's why
listen, people, if you know why, listen, I'm the rebellious one out of all three of us. Innit? I would do things that we're not supposed to do. So all I can say is this.
So we don't have the capacity.
I made a boo-boo.
Couple more super chats and then I will do another break.
I think you just made me think we're gonna do now. Flip sake, man. What's wrong with you?
Matt, you're the one who's got to deal with it. This time I'm gonna be like, I don't deal with it.
No, I deal with it. No, I dealt with it last time. When you told me, I had to set the thing and I was like, this is stupid. Oh, it's just long. You made me realize what we gotta do now for flip. I swear down.
Because it was short, we may get away with it. But if you saw me behind the scenes, bro, I was scrambling to buy something.
I was like, what's interrupting the thing? Because I knew it was you. I saw you like.
Bro, my hands are moving bad. I was just thinking,
bro,
no.
Listen, YouTube, don't focus on that last bit. Just focus on this.
So we don't have the capacity.
That's all they need to focus on. YouTube, allow us, man, please.
You know what the irony is as well? The Man City fan asked us to stop playing it while Matt was gone. Matt jumps in and plays it 4 times in about a minute.
To hear Koreshi says, under FSG, we are sleepwalking into disaster, potentially. Akash says, it's baffling to see the lack of squad improvement. I don't see us competing for the title this season. Next window will decide whether I'm FSG in or out. Fair enough. 8spec Limited says, Cal, can I get a full show of impression John W. Henry when you do the FSG in out show would be jokes? No, I won't do it on that show only because I'm going to be very serious in that show because I got a lot of stuff I want to get off my chest.
Look, first of all, the super chat just before that, I cannot believe that comment was they're going to wait till next summer to see whether they're FSG in or out or not. That is a lot of patience.
What?
You must
wait till next summer
in the world.
Next window. Next window. So I don't know if that's January or summer.
No. But even waiting till that is a lot of patience. I'm not even glad that person has got way more patience than I wish I had that patience. But secondly, I'm gonna let the people on in it now. and I'm gonna get Matt to put the pressure on me as well. I'm trying to get Cal to start an Island Dash series, and he's not really on it. But I want it so badly that after every Burnley game, I just call Cal and we have a couple of
This is why you lot don't rate me. This is why you lot don't rate me, yeah? This is why you man don't rate me, yeah? What? You man think I'm not ready, no?
What you saying? You're on it, yeah? What you
I
saying? You're on it, yeah? Yes.
That's how I was gonna rate the
that.
eyes for
I like
you,
that.
man, but you man weren't
like
patient, man. You gotta
This is
rate me, man.
This is Cal right now.
Send me a message like location. I'm gonna come. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. Ireland, New York, Brooklyn, almost.
Cal's fully backing
I was
himself.
saying I was
fully.
ready. I was ready.
So Cal was just making me Cal had me begging for no reason, you know. I'm like, come on,
bro.
Cal, man.
No,
I'm
ready.
I see
That's
you,
why I'm
bro.
gonna
I
rate
see
the
you.
eyes for
Ready.
you, man.
I see you.
Sean Dyche, just quickly as well. Is Harry Kane?
We're gonna get
Is
into
Harry
it.
Kane allowed to get involved? Just asking.
If Burnley played Tottenham, then yeah, definitely.
If he want it, he want it. Tell him you're ready.
Obviously, we'll see what happens, Dyche. We'll see what happens.
Me are the done. I'm ready when you're ready.
Obviously, I spoke to Daniel. I spoke to Delhi. We won it. Yeah, we're top of the league, mate. So just be careful what you wish for, Dyche. Did go Man City. I'm still here, still standing. So you can come with all that bullshit. I don't really care, mate.
Oh, so you're done, big man. Bring it, now. Bring it. Already.
All right, guys. We'll save this for the. Series. We'll save this for the series. Keep it pushing.
Drift. Here's the thing. He said he was ready, just like how I thought I was ready to go Man City. So that's a bit of a cheap shot, if you ask me. But we move. That's backwards, so we move.
All right, nice every time. Jamrock says, I'll call on Friday. That's a $40 super chat, if I'm honest. Fair enough. Eastwood says the US contingency would like to trademark Jamrock for a future Liverpool signing. Jamrock says, which is why the super chat was supposed to reflect humor. I have assumptions and hypotheses about valuation.
I hear that.
And my boss rips me like, did you look at all sides of the or the ones that you agree with what you believe already? That's
come on, Jamrock.
I respect for that. We don't take it personal. I just want to show.
And obviously, I also, especially that you addressed it straight away. I know that text messaging can be very hard to actually put the context of how you're saying something in, so it can sound different to the person reading it. I get that. It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Promo says, respectfully, Cal, I was the first to speak about the whole Buvac thing and I got pelted in the chat. Yes, I remember that as well. I was thinking, raw. Promo,
obviously.
Yeah, Promo. I was thinking to myself, yeah, you're getting in the comments, but I'm getting it live still, so I know.
I remember Promo was on that Buvac thing for a minute. I remember that still. I remember.
Mr. Dare I say it says West Ham signed Lingard, Vlasic, and Zuma 20 mil, 30 mil, 30 mil. Lingard has
signed Lingard. Have they signed him?
So you have got the money from Lingard as well now, yeah?
No, apparently they've not sold. No, I don't think they have. Troy says FSG may be about to ask Gerrard to come in 2024 with a novice sporting director, old squad, and limited funds. Old players have no resale. Don't do that to Stevie G.
I agree with that. Do not bring in Stevie like what Chelsea did with Lampard, where you're pretty much throwing him to the lambs.
Indeed. Trevor says
him to the slaughter. Sorry.
Shout out to my brother. Shout out to yourself, Trevor, as always, bro. Watching this with my little one.
For the viewers reviews as well, man. You know what I mean?
Watching this with my little one. His first Monday night live show. A bit restless, but teach them while they're young. But teach them while they're still young, in it. Yeah, so let's.
I need to be careful with the language I was gonna say. So this is what I will say. This apologies, and obviously, and I'll say it again. I'll just use the word obviously. I will keep it to a minimum, mate. So apologies.
Zizi said,
little one, I'm jealous of him. Man's got more hair than me.
Check John W. Henry's second liked tweet. He finds this funny. I don't even want to check it, to be honest. Now you said,
do we even want to know?
No, I don't even want to know. All right. So this is a part of the show that you guys have requested. You got 3 minutes to speak about the previous game with Ireland Dyche. Drift, Matt, Liverpool drew 1-1.
Bro, I wanted to make it own little separate thing afterwards, bro.
No. We can make it a segment. So hold on.
We'll make it one here, and then we'll do it.
Hold on. So sorry, apologies. Who did you lot play again?
They drew, innit?
Who against who?
Was it?
You know, see it, Matt. We did neutralize Rafinha. The boy is not ready for Burnley. Enough that me did hear about Rafinha, this Rafinha that. Me and Sean the Don Dada Dyche. Him no worry me, him no scare me. We have Dwight McNeil, Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Tarkovsky. We have Man Machine. We have everything for day with the Brazilian fraud. Him can't do nothing there at Turf Moor. Next question, please.
Yo, Sean, where do you think you're gonna finish this season?
Wherever my bro Cloud want to finish, man. Not ask me stupid question. We're 3 matches in. Where you want for me? Next question, please.
I'm done. Listen, Sean, I just want to ask you, like, I know obviously you really rate. Hold on. Shelly, put the peas for soup. Me want food now. Go on. Sorry. Forward. Sean, just quickly, I know you really rate what's his name, that striker, the one that played against us, and you always keep him in the basement. What's your thoughts behind him this season? I think it's Ashley, but like, do you really rate him? Like, how highly do you rate him? All right, me see, say a joke you off to make. All right, Barnes, me I go say it every single time me ask about Ashley Barnes. You did have a Barnes. We did have a Barnes from Jamaica. Him can't touch Ashley. Ashley is the best Barnes me ever see play the game. Him is a baller. Him strong. Him quick. Him have a good finish. And him is a warrior. Him are the best Barnes me ever lay eyes upon. You understand? Base. Him can't live another base. Evan. That is where him live. Evan. Next question, please.
Last question before we move on, Dan.
Yeah, last question.
Are you still spewing after Klopp smoked you, considering you are a Liverpool fan?
Oh, what a... Yo, every time we chat to Drifty, him come for some sort of fire. What's wrong with the boy? Look, listen. Klopp is an idiot. Me not like him. Yeah? Cause the boy have long hair and him speak German. Let me tell you something. Me is a Liverpool supporter from my barn. Me are the one who should be sit in the technical area for Liverpool. Not Klopp. Just because him name rhyme with Kop, that is why you get him. Sean Dyche should be living as Liverpool manager, but instead, me there at Turf Moor, I manage Burnley. Look, Drifty. I lucky him did get lucky when we did play. Yeah? Him get 2 lucky goals, and we did pepper the goal, and bear the players did act like picnic, dive and cry and ball out eyes when they get little barge, little tackle. The referee was a fraud. Yes? Understand this. I remember last time I got to tell you this. We have not even implemented our gun to level 2 of what Burnley can achieve. Because when we change things in at the canteen, health, nutrition, science, we are going to be unstoppable. Remember, me tell you. Last question, quickly, Shush. Last one. Last question. Now. Come now, man. Hurry now, man. Me want to yam some food, man. Come now, man. Just quickly, Sean. Did you watch the Tyron Woodley and Jay Paul fight? Boy, what a thing, boy. What a thing. The boy just can't catch a break. Covington, boss him up. Paul, boss him up. The boy come out to him own music, you know. Come out to dub plate and still lose. Tyrone, if you're watching, where you want, man. Yeah. Come back a yard, man. What you doing in America? Just it's not working for you. This can't run, man. Paul, Jake, the boy was a Disney boy, man. Me can't. Him did rough you up, man. Yeah. You think say you same boat I go step in a ring and lose to Jake? Boy, that did hurt, man. A bad end to the weekend, man. Cha. Bad end to the weekend. Anyway, yo, man, may I have to go up car, patty in the oven, and the wife did not put the peas on the socks. So you know, so we are gonna fall out now. But you know, me love her, and you know, but me have to tell her we can't run into the yard car. Me need my sustenance cause me not gonna survive on the Burnley food. But anyway, until next time, blessings, peace, and love. Sean, the Dan Dana Dyche is out.
Man says Sean the Dana Dyche, you know.
You know how my one is that I had my bun at the side. I just started to eat my bun while mum was going in, bro.
I'm actually finished, bro.
That burn kills my throat, though. My throat actually feels numb after doing that.
I'm not gonna lie, that segment should be like 2 minutes long because your throat is gonna get.
Big up Brooks. He said, Sean Dice, you smashed it, Cal. Eastwood, just one more time. He said, can you get a shout out Island style?
Big up Eastwood, big up Bridget, Anderson, in the building, big up.
Oh, bro. Oh my days.
All right. So back to serious matters now then.
Indeed.
So the question I wanted to ask you guys is, many people have said it, especially in this chat, 19 teams have outspent us in the window. We've got a positive net spend at the moment as things stand. Generally want to ask, not just you two, but everyone in the chat, because no one seems to be able to give an answer to this. How much do you actually expect FSG to spend out of their own pocket every summer? Because I think that's where the biggest contention is between FSG in and FSG out, if I'm not mistaken, is how much should they be putting in of their own money every summer?
You want me to go first on this?
Anyone. Floor's open.
Yeah, I'm just trying to block all the spammers that are coming in now. But I think the mods have already assembled.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? There's two people who asked to be mods. That apologies, we still haven't added you. I will be making sure we get that done tonight. Actually, apologies for that.
Trying to block all these people.
All right. When you look at the way FFP is built, and if you are going to pay attention to it, you're allowed to spend between 50 to 100 million of your own money within the budget that you also allowed for incoming, right? So there is a little bit of flexibility to spend money that you haven't earned through selling players. It's actually the only way PSG, Chelsea, and those kind of clubs have been able to kind of balance the books, so to speak. Because think about it, Man City don't sell players and get loads of money back in. So how do you think they can afford to keep on every now and again doing this? It's because you are allowed to spend between 50 to 100 mil of your own money. So what I'm saying is, sell to buy is a structure that I fully understand you have to pay a lot of attention to just on the normal basis of any business, no matter what the situation is. You're in a situation where, I don't know, you sell Mars bars. You go to the place where you buy in bulk. You buy a bulk that allows you to then sell those Mars bars at a 20p profit, and that's how you make your money. I get it. Everything has to be buy, sell, buy. That's the general consensus of life, right? But anyone who's going to buy a football club should have a little bit extra knowledge on the way the sport is, the fact that there's always going to be a mitigating circumstances, there's passion, there's all of these other things you factor in, and you should buy a football club for the love of winning and football. You shouldn't buy a football club to try and make an empire of profit. If you want to make a profit empire, then go and do another Amazon or a IKEA or something like that. There ain't profit to be made in football. Football ain't about profit. Football is about winning. End of. It's about tribalism and it's about winning. And I know the word tribalism sounds very negative.
Send it, please. Jamrock, send it, please. Just that last thing.
Yeah, nice sense. Yeah, no, not you.
But when we say it in football, and only football people understand what we mean, so obviously everybody here knows what I mean. We say tribalism with a positive connotation, not a negative one. We love our club unconditionally, and it is always about our club doing the best that that club can do, right? You cannot come in as a foreign owner, and I'm not even just going to say foreign, because it could have been an English person that just didn't like football. But obviously, in this instant, it is a foreign owner. They're coming from America. You cannot come in, not understand where we're coming from when we come with the passion, with the loyalty, with all of those other things, and feed us these lines about how you love us or you care about us, and you don't ever show it in an action. I can tell you I care about you, but every time you need me, if I'm never there, then you kind of start figuring out that I'm full of shit.
No,
right?
I hear you, Drift, but if you were to put it down to the amount that you think they should be spending every summer, let's say summer, because
They
January
don't spend any though, bro. And my point is just because they don't have the passion. They don't care, bro.
but forget that. I'm asking about us. It's not about FSG. If I was to say to you, Drift, right now, how much should FSG put in of their own money? What would you say? What's the figure?
Not giving a shit about them, just what I think that they should do.
Yeah.
I think every 2 years they should put 100 million in
Of their own money.
of their own money.
So let's split that to 50 mil then, yeah. 50,
Per
50.
season.
Yeah.
50 mil per season, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to keep that figure there. Matt, what's your figure?
And so before Matt goes, while Matt's still thinking, I will add, if no money's needed to be spent, cool. Don't have to just spend it for the hell of it. If we had a year where we literally had a perfect squad, no, you have to spend money for the hell of it. So cool. That's the year you don't spend any money then. Cool, I'm cool with that.
I would say about 100 as well. Let's say, for example, the squad needed like some financial backing. So 50 million, in January, 50 million in the summertime, just to help like with things.
You say 100 mil per year then?
Yeah, so like I would look at it as a case of, because you're gonna recoup some money anyway. But again, it doesn't have to be 100. But all right, let me just say up to 100.
No, Matt. What Cal means is not how much do they spend in total, how much of their own money. So forget about how much they make on player sales. Actually, out of their pocket.
Calm. So I'm looking at this. There's 2 windows every year, summer and winter. Let's say the club isn't making any money whatsoever. I think they have I think they should at least put in between, and I say between 75 to 100 million. Like as a total.
Each summer, yeah.
Each summer or each so let's call it 100. So whether it's 50 million in the winter and 50 million in the summer, just to help with something, because that keeps the ball rolling, that keeps the ball ticking, bro. When you don't add in nothing whatsoever, problems arise. Like what we're seeing now.
So stop there, Matt, because that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah. I'm stopping now. Yeah.
And this is for you and Matt Drift. And again, I'm asking these questions. I'm cheating a little bit because obviously I'm going to wait and answer these questions on Wednesday when we do the FSG and FSG out stuff. But Matt, you said 75 to 100 mil.
Yeah.
Drift, you said 50 mil. Yeah. So we both, all three of us went into this and we wanted a centre back, a centre midfielder to replace Genie, and then 1/2 forwards, right? A striker or a wide forward. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got Kanate in, and that's been paid for by the player sales.
Yeah.
So we're effectively back at 0 now.
Yep.
So effectively, we still need another 3 players, right?
We're actually positive 5 mil now.
I would say I would say 2 players.
Two players. Let's go 2 then. So 1 forward and 1 centre midfielder.
Yep.
50 mil.
Or a right backup and a wing forward if you really believe our midfield.
If you really want to think, but I'm talking about like what's like on the front cover, so to speak. What's alarming? But you're right, though.
I think right back cover is just as alarming as midfield, if I'm being honest with you.
You might be right, though. No, you might be right still. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So if I was to say to you, Drift, for 50 mil, do you genuinely believe we could go and improve the squad with 2 players? Do you think we could?
Well, if you're talking about this summer, where I can slightly cheat a little bit based on what I said over 100 mil every 2, we spent 25 million last summer on Jota and Thiago. If you include the fact that it's on a payment scheme, we got money back in for what's his name, going for 25 mil to Sheffield. We got the 12 mil for Hover. So really and truthfully, last summer was so covered that effectively that 100 mil from not spending any money last summer should be transferred to this summer, Cal. So right now I should be on the 100 mil budget based on not spending any money last year of the actual owner's money. So I should have 100 mil this summer.
Kev makes a good point. Kev makes a good point. So the Kanata fee is apparently paid all up front. We're waiting on other transfer fees from this summer to come in. Likewise, the Thiago and the Jota one was installments as well. So money comes out for those two players this year as well.
And I would like to just rewind, which we always do. I don't like to be a historian. I'd just like to go back and just say to you guys, we won the Champions League and only signed Adrian for free. Where was that money that summer? There's been a bag of bullshit windows for a minute now, yeah? So I deserve 100 mil now because you didn't buy me any money when we won the Champions League. Didn't give me any money when we won the Champions League. The transfers we brought in last year were paid for by player sales. Whichever way you want to look at it, they just were. So I deserve 100 mil this year. So right now, Cal, yeah, I truly believe for 100 mil, we could go and buy two spectacular players. We right now are sitting on 100 million. Straight away, I'm giving 40 million to Brighton if that's what they want for Basuma. Give them 45 if it's really going to take it. Even give them 50.
No. We're not just going to give.
No, I'm saying it because it's the last day. If they're going to be stupid about it to get it done, even if you got to push that deal to 50, Basuma is worth it. He is a super talented footballer who will only improve under Klopp. So if it's 40, you got to push it to 45, 50 to get it done. Go and get it done. Luis Diaz is about to sign for Everton for what I believe is 31 million, if I'm wrong. That's what I read. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I read 31 million. And I don't even know if that was euros or pounds. I was so vexed. I didn't even actually check what the symbol looked like. If it's euros, it's even worse. Right?
Yeah, for real.
We've got all the other players that we were saying about, like Saint Max, like Rafinha. If we'd have done it earlier, we may have been able to get those deals done for 50 mil. If we hadn't rat-arsed around and waited till now, we'd have done this a couple of weeks ago when they had time to find a replacement. We could have probably went and got one of those players for around that 50, 60 million. Do you get what I mean? And even if you look at the situation right now, Vlahovic, I'm hearing it's only 50 million to convince Fiorentina to say, like, Cal, for 100 mil, yeah, I truly believe we could go right now and buy two players that would genuinely take us from a bit worried about our squad to, nah, you know what? We should be all right, you know? We should actually be all right. That's my opinion.
That's fair enough. So with that, the reason why I ask those questions, one, is because when there's a conversation with FSG and the FSG out, what I see a lot of people who are supporters of FSG say is, oh, what, you're moaning because we didn't get Mbappe or Haaland. And again, this is a very small sample size of the fan base. It's us three and some of the comments we've seen. No one here has said anything more than 100 mil. So it's not a case of us fans being unrealistic, in my opinion. I think we all have realism. None of us, I've not seen one person in here say want 300 mil a summer or 150 mil every summer without fail. We're all realistic and understand that we have to be flexible to an extent. But what it seems as though there's a disconnect between us as fans and FSG, and I don't ever know if that gap will be closed. Second of all, what I will say though, is you see when we win trophies and stuff like that, like the Champions League, for example, as much as I don't like it, because we are a self-sustained club, everything we make as a club goes back into the club. So you see bonuses and all these other things, and that is paid for by the club. As much as we don't like it, like if Chelsea go and build a new stadium, that's coming out of Abramovich's money, or if a new stand. When we built a new stand, that was Liverpool paying for it. FSG fronted the money and we paid them back with interest. In the same way, the next stand that's built, FSG will probably pay for it and then we'll pay them back with interest.
I still don't understand how you can pay yourself back. I still don't get that. And this is what I'm saying. There's a disconnect, Carl, because if you own the club's yours. You shouldn't look at it like you're borrowing yourself money.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
That does not make sense to me.
It's because there's a separation between Liverpool and FSG.
So this is what I'm getting to. So here's for me where it boils down. Do you want to support a football team or do you want to support businessmen? Because as businessmen, FSG are doing bloody well. Now, hear me out.
No, I'm agreeing with you. They're brilliant as businessmen, bro. They're actually brilliant
because
as
businessmen. They're doing what they need to do. And look,
Yeah, of course.
because they're brilliant businessmen, they have got success to the club as well. And look, we can't just negate anything they've done because look, they are good owners. They're good owners, just not owners that, in my opinion, are good enough for Liverpool. They'd be really good at another club potentially, just not for us.
But that's the base problem. That's the base
their
problem.
ability to perform. That's what it is.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's the base problem.
That is the base problem. It's not that we're saying they're rubbish people, they're rubbish owners. They're just not good enough for Liverpool. And this is the way I kind of come back to it. Bruno Fernandes was arguably the, let's say, top 3 midfielders / attacking midfielders in the league last season. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
I've not heard one person come out and say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a genius because he bought Bruno Fernandes. We haven't, have we? All right. So you see when someone will turn around and say, how can you be saying that about FSG? They brought Klopp. That's probably why I have the same energy towards that comment, because it was between Klopp or Ancelotti that time when they sacked Brendan. And to be honest, dare I say, they even waited too long to sack Brendan, because Brendan should have been sacked in the summer, and that would have probably meant that Brendan didn't bring in, or whoever you want to say brought in Benteke, for example, for 30-odd mil. That didn't help us. Why I use that example is that time where we sacked Brendan, it was between Klopp and Ancelotti. There were no other managers on the market without teams that were good enough to come in for Liverpool, barring those two. And we weren't going to go to another club and pay off for a manager to come to our club at that time. Now, let's be clear. Since FSG have been here, they have sacked Hodgson, and Kenny came out of retirement to manage us. They sacked Kenny and got Brendan Rodgers from Swansea. Then they sacked Brendan and got Klopp, who was not attached to any other clubs. Okay?
Always a cheap appointment.
Now, look, I'm going to hold my hands up and say it straight. I wanted Ancelotti over Klopp, but I was not upset we got Klopp. The reason why I wanted Ancelotti is because I thought at the time Ancelotti would have been able to bring us instant success, because Ancelotti knew at that time we needed to spend big money quickly to get that squad in hand. Klopp has a different method and mentality, and I'm good with it. But the problem is, Ancelotti said it early. He needs a new spine. Are you going to pay for a new spine? No, we're not. FSG said you're going to have to do it this way. That's why we got Klopp. Not because they wanted Ancelotti as first choice. Like, it was between Ancelotti and Klopp. Klopp was the one that agreed to their terms. When it comes to the whole situation of spending money, for me, I don't care about net spend. I don't care that our net spend is lower than 19 other teams in the league. Shall I tell you why? Because they're not better than us. Only 2 or 3 teams could be even put in the same category as us. So I don't care about net spend. I care about looking at our squad and getting the right players. I don't want us spending money just for the sake of it. Just like a lot of other Liverpool fans, just like you two. You both said it. Don't want us spending money for the sake of it. What we do want is when we see glaringly obvious frailties in the squad,
like no left back cover for 2 years,
to be addressed. And again, I'm not even saying you have to spend stupid money on it, but get it done, and get it done efficiently so that you don't end up spending more money on it. And again, I'll use an example of a leaking roof. If a roof starts to leak, you get it sorted as soon as possible, because the longer you leave it, the worse the problem is going to become, and the more money you're going to have to throw at it. If we do not, and it looks like we're not going to, if we do not spend more money in this window and we leave ourselves short, what happens is next summer, instead of just needing 1 or 2 players, because we would have got a centre midfielder and a wide forward, next summer we will need a right back, a goalkeeper to sort out when Adriana leaves, a centre midfielder, a wide forward. Have I mentioned a wide forward? We will need a wide forward, a striker, a centre midfielder, and a goalkeeper replacement for
5.
Adrian.
We need 5 positions.
We will need 5 potential players next summer as opposed to 2 or 3. That is my problem. I don't give a bollocks about net spend. Get the right players in. And I keep on using the Thiago analogy. Thiago costs 25 mil, and we as a channel have never been happier than signing any other player. And he was our second cheapest player that we signed last summer. Jota was almost double the Thiago fee, but we were not half as happy getting Jota as we were getting Thiago. Do you know why? Because he signed a world-class player. It's never been about the money. If we can get Mbappe for 10 million, it's not going to change whether we get him for 100 million. We're all going to be happy because we've got a generational talent. It's never been about the money.
And you know what?
The right players in.
What you said at the beginning, which I just want to quickly say before I forget, is when you said about you're not angry at it, you do understand it, that bonuses go back into the club when we win trophies because they're promised a bonus if they win it. So I understand. The one thing I hate about that, before I move on to my other point quickly, is that's almost like being punished for your success, which I kind of disagree with. Like, as in we're punished, not the players, obviously they get a bonus, but it's almost like as fans, we're punished for the success by going, well, that money's just got to go to the players that are already there, so you got to suffer if we need anything else. And I kind of don't like that. And the other thing I want to say is, with that whole loaning money to the team to get it back, like every time that gets brought up, like I've really got an issue with this, you know. Like if I buy a car, that car's mine, yeah. And when I sell it, now that's yours. But while I own that car, that is mine. Everybody here knows that there's a 90% chance you're going to shop the car you buy before you buy a new one. But you don't treat that car like you're going to sell it while you're in possession. It's your car. So why are they treating Liverpool like someone else's? So they're not willing to do certain things. They're like, well, it's not really yours. If you're the owner, while you're in charge, you act like it's yours. None of this borrowing money. Now imagine if I started going out of a woman now, and she's already got 2 children, and I'm like, do you know what? They're good kids, man. I'll be the stepdad. Their real dad passed away, unfortunately. They need a father figure. I'm gonna be their dad. And I'm buying coats. I'm dropping them to school. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm being a dad. But when they turn 18, I hand them a bill and they're like, what's this? And I'm like, that's all the money I spent on you for the last 8 years. You ain't really my kid. What the fuck? Because ain't that the same fucking difference? Like, how can you borrow yourself money if you are in control of Liverpool? While you're in control, they are your possession. Any money spent on the club while you're in control should not be seen at like you need that money back. Bruh, it's my yard. I'm going to fix the roof. I'm not going to give a bill to the man I sold the house to in 10 years ago. No, bro, I fixed the roof 10 years ago. You got to pay me back for that shit. No, man, that's bullshit, man.
No, that's BS. Bullshit. Drift, that's BS to you because you're speaking out of love for the club. This is
but if you don't love us, fuck off.
All right, but so this is my point now. So this is my point. We're gonna have to we have to make a choice as to how because look, FSG aren't going anywhere. Where all right, so I've got to say Kev asked a good question. Where exactly would the money come from if we don't do anything as a club? If we just expect, because FSG ain't as rich as your Abramovich's and your like Man City owners. Where are we going to get the money from?
I think FSG have money. It's just that whether they're willing to spend that money. Obviously, every
the man that got money, bro.
Every owner has their money.
They're worth 2.4 bill, guys. We're not telling them to spend money.
No. You're not saying that. He's actually generally saying where's the money come, which is true.
And maybe pocket. Cal, where did the money come from for your new boiler? It came out your fucking pocket, bro, because it's your yard.
No, but it's different in a boiler. I'm buying 50 million.
No. Let's not get twisted. Cal could have had cold showers for a month. But who wants cold showers?
Bro, what you're saying, I'm not disagreeing.
The blood clot boiler. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm not having this, man.
But again, Drift, this is not me and Matt saying we disagree with you, you know. This is us saying.
I'm just talking out loud. This is therapy for me, innit? And you know what? If you're not willing to do what it takes to win as a football club, then with all due respect, go and fucking buy Burnley.
Do you know what,
go and buy Hull. Go and buy one of them clubs where they can do with your help, but there's no ambition and there's no expectation. Don't buy a club that is reaped in history, is the biggest club in the country, and we have an expectation as a fan base that has been brought from Shanks, Paisley, and the days of the boot room, yeah? And you want to come in and you want to treat our club like some fucking toy for your fucking CV. Nah, fuck off with that shit. I'm sorry, that is bullshit. And we got glaring holes in our squad.
Remember the little ones listening, Drift, the little ones. Remember the man's little ones.
Guys, you know what? Cover their eyes and blame Uncle Drift. We've got the best manager that we could have ever had, yeah? We've got the best manager we could have ever asked for. And we're going to make him leave this football club and we're going to sit back and we're going to say, "Raw, what did we really do to help that brother achieve everything his ability would have achieved if we'd have backed him?" Because what this man did is a fucking miracle as it is. But you know what? We watched Ronaldo go Man U. We watch all these other men rock up at all these
Save
other
it
clubs.
for Tuesday, Drift. Tomorrow.
Wednesday.
Bro,
No, tomorrow. No, tomorrow.
No,
Draft the deadline tomorrow.
No, but we've
Tomorrow,
got FSG.
I might not even be
Yeah.
able to even speak. But all I'm saying is,
Drift.
these
Save
men
it,
are
save it.
getting me mad, bro. These
No,
men
bro.
are-
Johnny is. No.
Hold on.
Bro.
Sorry, I'm coming back to you, man. I'm coming back to you. So Kev says the money they invest is interest free, unlike borrowing from a bank. You have to show transparency in your accounting of that. It's not difficult to grasp. I agree with half of that, Kev, because the AXA, I believe, was paid for by AXA, if I'm not mistaken, and the stand wasn't interest free. So I don't think anything they've lent us, apart from if they've got a higher net spend in the summer, hasn't been interest free. It's been we paid interest on it, or someone else has paid for it, which again I don't have an issue with personally. I personally don't. Go on, Matt, you were going to say something.
What I was going to say now. Basically, what I was going to say is this, yeah? It's not that we're disagreeing with what you're saying at all, because, listen, if he come tomorrow, I know nothing's going to be done, pretty much. If it happens, it's a miracle, but we kind of know. But it's more of a case of, unless, in my opinion, unless FSG leave, yeah, I don't see how this improves, because they stuck to their guns for so long, bro. And when you were talking about, even back in it, like how many months ago, when you were like, "Oh, we got to milk them." Remember when I was saying to you, I was saying, "Bro, we can't milk these man, because these man have got no milk. They're not willing to provide. They do the bare minimum." And you know what the key thing you said is as well, bro, in that what you were saying. You've got to find an owner that's willing to do anything to succeed, and we don't have owners like that. So you've got an Abramovich,
Not
you've got a shape man.
Not anything.
Not anything, but you've got, okay, let me put it like this then. They're willing to dig deep to achieve what the club and the supporters want. FSG aren't doing that. They live by their means. So when they say they're shrewd, they are. When they say they will try, they will. But what we want is that soulful owner that will pretty much do what is needed. You see, right now, if we had a different owner that had more money and is willing to dip into their own pocket, that owner, in my opinion, would say to Jurgen, "What do you need Jurgen, where you think you can win the Premier League and the Champions League?" What's happening now is Jurgen's going, "Right, guys, I'm gonna be real. I need this," and they're saying, "Well, so a couple of players, Jurgen, and we see what we can do." That's not helping no one, because you're basically asking Jurgen to do the impossible, and Michael Edwards, who looks like he's about to leave anyway, like I said, he's fed up with the job. So this is what I'm saying, Jiff. Fully get it. I'm on your wave. Unless these men leave, we're kind of stuck in the mud. We're kind of gonna have to always expect these same type of summers.
Yeah,
and what's so mad is, as Liverpool Football Club, yeah, we've been doing this for years. David Moores, Rick Parry, yeah, we couldn't even get Samal Sabrosa to leave Benfica. Can't chat to me. When we were under Hicks and Gillette, if I'm not mistaken, was that the same era as? Was that the same? What's that, sorry?
David Silva.
Danny Alves. I said the same thing. We've always been that club where we're so massive, but we can't get that player that is gonna take us to the next level. Like, we only can do the bare minimum, and that's frustrating. Right now, we've extracted everything that we can from our club. And I say this the one last time, everyone else is moving in 4K. We're moving in 720 / I don't know, we're like flipping.
We're still moving in 480. Do you know who our
No, we're 720 because we got Van Dijk in there, man. We're 720.
Let me get this. No. But
what it is, though, we're upscaling to 1080p, bro. That's what it is. That's what they want to do. They want to upscale. They don't want to get the new thing. That's the problem.
Our owners are the type of guys who go out for drinks, and they're the wealthiest people out of all the group of brethren. but they let everyone go and do a round and pay for the round. And when they realize their round's coming up, they wish everyone a good night and they go home. That's who our owners are. They don't get to do their round. They let everyone, they're drunk when they're going home. Everyone else has done their round. And then they go home.
No, not you, Jeff, not you.
Shout out to Rack for the super chat as always.
I'm reading some mad stuff right now. Sorry, Cal, to interrupt.
Drop the beat for Rack one time real quick, because Rack's the man still.
Are you not No. Let me quickly read this out. Chelsea are set to sign. This is from Carvajal from
Don't do it, bro. Don't say something.
Sky. Chelsea are set to sign Saul Niguez on loan from Atletico with an option to buy. Deal is dependent on Atletico being able to sign a replacement midfielder, so that looked like that could potentially go through. And also there are some
not even an obligation.
There are some strong rumors going around that Renato Sanchez could be going to Wolves? I think it's Wolves on loan as well.
That's a very risky one, though.
Crystal Palace are close, or Crystal Palace have agreed a fee between 15 and 20 million for Celtic's Edouard, the striker.
Yeah, but we don't care about Palace, bro.
No. But for me, it was more about the Renato Sanchez potentially.
The Sanchez one's a weird one. If he's out for 4 months, that's a massive risk.
Yeah, I need to read a bit more now, but that's a few things at the moment.
I don't really think recovering from an injury at a club you've never played for is a good idea. Like, that's kind of
reportedly, anyway. Reportedly,
you might as well get fit.
So this is what another one I wanted to address. So, if there is someone with that kind of money you're talking about to put up their cash, too much talk, no action. So I'm glad you said this. So this is another thing that I always get hit with. Well, who's got the money to buy us? Unless I don't want to hear it. If I'm not mistaken, and again, I'm going to bring it back to players just to dumb it down a little bit, and then I'll get to my point. If I'm not mistaken, weren't we told for years we can't go out and get a player who's going to deputise for Robertson? We were, weren't we? Weren't we told for ages we can't bring in another centre-back who's going to be willing to wait for their turn to play? We've got Kanate, though, right? Weren't we told for years, we can't get anyone to come in and challenge the front three? They're all set in their positions. Then we go and get Jota. Before FSG came in, before Hicks and Gillette came in, did anyone know of Hicks and Gillette?
No.
Did anyone know about Sheikh Mansour?
No.
Did anyone know about Leicester's owners? Did anyone know about Man City's previous owners?
No.
There is no transfer market for football owners. Wealthy billionaires are not sitting there in a forum saying, hi guys, I want to buy a club because I've got this amount of money. They're not doing that. So no, I cannot name you someone, but I can almost guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that there are people out there with the money who could come in and buy Liverpool and spend more money than FSG does. Another question. Why is it that Redbird were able to fund a 10 million pound, sorry, a 10% purchase of FSG? Did anyone know much about Redbird? But they came along and they did it, right? So guys, if we're saying we're not happy with FSG, you can't turn around and say, well, you know what, we got to stick with them because we can't get anyone else. There are people out there, we just don't know who they are yet. But that's like me sitting here saying, you know, we can't get a wide forward because there's no one better than Salah, you know. So let's just run him into the ground then. Let's just run Liverpool into the ground then. Come on, people, man. Let's open up our minds a little bit. That's all I ask.
And under good authority from a very trustworthy source, this whole FSG was the only club who bought us and they saved us. Yeah, don't believe that.
Well, Christian Perslow said it. Christian Perslow said, Christian Perslow, who was involved in the brokering of the deal, said,
"Yep, yeah, he did.
You are getting the bottom of the barrel." Said though, that was exact words.
Yep. There
was people who were better, whose bid was accidentally,
or people had deeper pockets, shall we say?
Yeah, listen, don't get too deep to start going into now. And again, it's not me taking away any credit from what FSG have done, because we've achieved a lot while they've been in control. But all good things come to an end, and if you can't take us to the next level, because I'm being honest with you, even if I'm looking at it from a point of view of like just personal pride, even if we just want to make it like that, if I watch everyone around me be able to do better than me, I might just take a step back. So if I'm FSG and I'm watching the way City, Chelsea, Man U, all these other clubs are doing things, if I can't compete with that, why am I still going to hang around? Even just from a personal pride point of view, be like, you know, we did so well. We really did. We won the Champions League. We won this. We hired Klopp. Now we done well, man. Do you know what? Now it's time to just cut ties, take our massive £2.5 billion profit, and let's give this club to somebody who can actually take them to the next level. Because don't remember, guys, they bought us for under 400 million, and now they want 300+ billion to sell us.
No, not
they will be
not
making
300 billion, not 300 billion, 3 billion.
So, sorry, 3 billion. Sorry, they'll be making a profit that you could only dream of. And I think I'm not even being disrespectful when I say anybody who is involved in this conversation live, we could only dream of £3 billion. Dream of it.
At all.
No, but I don't want anyone to think I'm downplaying their abilities. But £3 billion is a fucking dream to any of us right now. And these men are going to make that much off of 400 million. That is a huge profit. Just do what you have to do and just be like, guys, we're so happy we was in charge of you for 11 years. We had some great times, and we're now going to let somebody else take over that we think can be a bit more influential and possibly even loves football. Because you know what? I don't even care if you don't love Liverpool. If you love football, you'll learn to love Liverpool because you understand the sport. They don't even know football. That they don't even know. Not only do they not love Liverpool, they don't even love football. Like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, FSG, you've done your bit. And I'm not going to lie. I'm very pleased that you did what you did. And thank you very much for what you did. But if you're going to keep making us starve, or we're going to have to keep having some crackers and cheese, but we're trying to feed a family of 8, yeah, every transfer window, get your profit, guys, and bounce. Please. Just because it's going to get worse. And I'm telling you, I'm watching what's happening at Arsenal right now, and I do not want to end up like them, man. And I'm getting proper Arsenal vibes with what we're doing behind the scenes. Like proper Arsenal vibes. Soon as Klopp goes, Lord help us. So
I'm gonna get some super chats read out. Tahik says Red Sox and Liverpool are fighting FSG. FSG, leave us. We don't want you here. Pack your bags and leave. Liverpool built by Shanks, broken by the Yanks. Promo says we should all try and buy Liverpool in installments. I wish I had that sort of money, boy. Mr. Dare I say it says it's not about the amount of money. We should be looking to bring in 1 to 4 players every season to keep rebuilding the squad slowly but surely. Agree. 1975 Jamrock says if it's in the chat, fellas, let me know. I couldn't see the website. I'm pretty sure you follow me. I'm almost 100. Yeah, we do follow each other on Twitter. DM me if you can, please, Jamrock. Tahir says FSG have never spent their own money ever. That's not true. They have. They actually have. 1975 Jamrock says Kanate feed was paid for using the Champions League money. I didn't know that. So that'd be interesting. Jamrock says the website will show the incomings and outgoings. Appreciate that, Jamrock. Zota says the owner of Chelsea's loans money to Chelsea. What makes you think they won't want their money back? We don't know. We don't know. But as things stand, he's not asked for it back.
And I'm very sure that after a beautiful 20-year-long relationship, he ain't just going to cripple them and go, well, I want this money back immediately.
Yeah, like tomorrow.
Like tomorrow, like I want this money back now.
He's going to give them time. That's the.
I'm guessing the stipulation might even be when he sells the club. He just adds that little bit into the amount that the people who are buying it pay for it. And then that's how we get. Roman Abramovich is not going to turn around and say to Chelsea, do you know what? I'm going to dump your whole club and just make you go into just drift off into no existence after having a beautiful relationship. He's not going to do that, man. Chelsea will be fine. I think that's just people hoping because as a rival, we don't like them. There's not a chance in hell Abramovich is going to do that to Chelsea. It's not, man. He's not going to do that to them. And I'm seeing people saying Jones is leaving. that better be on loan if it's true for a start. And what we're gonna make
the
the
case
squad
at
even
all.
thin.
He's short already. Like
No, that's what I'm
Jones ain't
saying.
leaving.
Like,
Rumors. Jones ain't leaving. Jones ain't leaving. He ain't leaving.
AA
Ain't
Om
leaving.
says rumors we linked with Suarez and Hudson Odoi.
Hudson Odoi might be going Leicester. He ain't going Liverpool, bro.
Chelsea
Permanent
ain't gonna
deal as
give
well.
up no one.
Exactly.
Neil Haight says, "What about Afcon? Keita, Salah, Mane, and Mono cover?" That's what I
Don't
want to
be
know.
telling us, Neil.
listen.
We know this, man.
And you know this, man.
Tahir says, "If FSG are good owners, why do Red Sox fans hate them too?" You'd have
Because they
to
sold
ask
their
Red
best
Sox.
You
player.
have to ask that.
Geordie T
No,
says,
you'd have to ask though. They sold their best player because they didn't want to give him a contract.
I don't know. I can't
know.
comment on it.
Somebody hit me up and said, Drift, Red Sox fans are angry because their best player, apparently one of the best players in the whole league, wanted a certain amount and they didn't want to pay him that much, so they traded him. Some shit like that.
Geordie T says, "I would love Dwight McNeil, the kid's definition of diamond in the rough, and would suit us down to a T, and he's only 21. You can't have Dwight McNeil, he's mine."
That would feel like fully basement bargain.
No, I all jokes aside, no, this is not even Island Dutch. I actually rate Dwight McNeil quite high.
No, I think he's good, but I wouldn't want him to be the backup.
I don't know about Liverpool.
Jamrock says liquid cash and paper net worth are different. That is very true. Their net worth is very different to the amount of money
that is true. No, I agree with that. That's true.
David said we just have to hit the lotto and buy the club. Even with the lotto money, we might not.
Bro, even the Euro millions at 300 mil ain't enough, bro.
That's never scratching the surface.
We'd all have to win the lottery every week and come together.
Yeah. 100. 100.
LFT Sports says Guan Drift talk the ting, my brother. Shout out to Michael Carbon for the joining our members.
Big up.
Big up yourself,
here
man.
says, if FSG have no money, what are they doing here? Good question.
Mookie says apparently he's the guy. Someone's letting me know that the guy was a great baseball player they traded. But yeah, go
on. Trevor says Ozan's just signed for Norwich. Best of luck to Ozan.
Yeah,
Indeed, best of luck to
Ozan.
Yeah,
he's a Liverpool fan. He's still one of us at the end of the day. So we've got a big up.
Liverpool even tweeted as well. Good luck. So
yeah, man. And in the end, he's actually gone for $4 million loan with £14 million buying. So all them rumors about him being cheap and all that aren't really real, are they? When you think about it.
Tahir says Arabs wanting to buy Liverpool during the ESL. FSG said no. Apparently, I don't know how true that is, to be honest. Tahir said there was a bid from Dubai during the ESL. Yeah, again, I don't genuinely know how true that is. Edward said I'd never want to sell the soul of LFC to a sports washing country. Becoming a supporter for me was about learning the club and the culture, the people, the city, because I need to fit in with that. The club is its history. All right, Edward, I get you what you're saying.
All the stuff after the sports washing company, I fully hear what you're saying. But
I hear that, but what do FSG really represent? Remember, that man represent Trump, you know.
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't think FSG have adopted the club, the culture, the people, the city either, because they tried to trademark the Liverpool name. They tried to put people on furlough. They've just made mistake after mistake after mistake. They've tried to put ticket price up. I don't think they encompass the second part of what you said, but I get what you're saying. I don't want a sports washing conglomerate either.
Do you know what's kind of mad as well, Carl? Just quickly, Michael Edwards, if I'm not mistaken, is from I think he's Southampton, but I know he's born in the UK. Yeah, Mike Gordon, the president, Tom Werner, the chief executive, I think he is, or the chairman, sorry, and what's his name, JW Henry, the owner, yeah, all American. Ain't it kind of funny that we all rave about Michael Edwards and he's the only one from the UK that's on FSG, sort of like, you know, on the list, and everyone else we're having a go at, so to speak, is on the American side. Maybe Michael Edwards gets it. That's just food for thought, people that didn't maybe know about that as well. And you got, I think Billy Hogan's there as well. I don't know if he's still there or whatnot. Remember, we had Peter Moore that was there as well from EA. He came in for a bit and left as well. But listen, if Michael Edwards does leave, just know that he done his all. He came and done his thing. We can't blame him, in my opinion, for anything more that he hasn't done, because Michael Edwards knows about football. The others, I don't know. Because all I know is this: Michael Edwards, and I have to give him credit, Mike Gordon, are the ones that actually like run things day to day with Klopp. Tom Werner and JW Henry, they're nowhere to be seen. I'll let you know. I'll let people know.
We've got the only owners who don't seem to be even pretending to make it up after the Super League. And we were kind of sitting back, and I'm guilty of this after the Super League. And no, but we seem like the only ones where that only kind of made a genuine apology. Even if it was like he didn't need to. No one else's owners did it though. So at least we've got to give FSG a bit of credit for that. And then come the summer, we're the ones who look like we're making the least effort. You know how much they hate the Glazers over at Man U? But you know what the Glazers actually did? They actually saw Ronaldo go into their rivals and just pulled their finger out their ass. Even if they couldn't even, like, they just thought, we'll do it and we'll deal with it later. And you know what they're dealing with it later was? They just paid for him by getting rid of Dan James. When are we going to, as soon as we heard that Mbappe was a little bit unhappy and that it was looking like Real Madrid might be coming in, it's an opportunity, right? He wants to bounce. Come and just try a thing. And we'll figure out how to pay this off later on. Furthermore, how about he pays for himself later on? Nah, none of that. Not even the inkling of any of that shit. I want someone who loves football to watch. Because I want owners who they want to watch the football club the way we want to watch it. Because I watch Abramovich in them stands. Yeah, I watch Sheikh Mansour in them stands. And them man there watch their football club. And you see the pride in their face. You see the passion. When Chelsea miss a chance, Abramovich is like, oh, you see it. Because he likes football. It ain't even just about Chelsea. He likes football. Our owners don't even know we're playing half the fucking
Our owners love stats and analysis and analytics.
And baseball. They love baseball.
Yeah. And cigars, but we move.
Jamrock says Redbird investment was circulating for a year in investment band circles before it was finalized. Same reason City sold 500 million equity stake to Silver Lake. But that's my point. In investment circles, it was going around, not in the general public. Ace on Industry said Red Sox fans think FSG is spending all on us. Jeez, if only they knew.
I mean, they're just lying to everyone.
Jamrock says, Matt, that Trump thing is fake news. The headline is news grabbing, but I can tell you only one FSG director, Michael Egan, donated 10K, 5.1 mil to the Dems.
Fair enough if that's the case, Jamrock, but I'm only going by what we...
That's not what I've heard, personally.
I can only go by what I've seen and read, Jamrock. So fair enough if that's the case, you know what I mean? But from what I've seen, that ain't the case. But again, you might know a bit more than me, Jamrock. I'm not saying, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But from what I've seen so far, man.
We'd love to dream about 100,000. We would. Centurions, 100 points. Says, just a random question. Would you guys take City's success in the last 10 years over what FSG did for Liverpool? Remember, you won the Champions League and we haven't.
Good question. I think if your owners owned our club, we'd have won the Champions League about 3 times by now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different. We've been to 2 finals.
But that wasn't the question, though. He said, would you take the success of City over the last 10 years or what we've had over the last 10 years?
100%. But we've still got Jurgen Klopp in control. But Jurgen Klopp's won 3 Premier Leagues.
Just swap. Just swap. You
done a domestic double.
I was going to say
100 points in the league. You've won the league 3 times in 4 years. I'll swap with you in a heartbeat, bro.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's Centurions is different for us. Not even saying this to be shady, but if we had won 4 Premier Leagues in the last, well, I don't even know how many City have won in the last 10 years. They've won a lot though, but we hadn't won a Champions League because we'd already won it 5 times. It wouldn't kill us like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Like it wouldn't kill us like that.
It wouldn't.
But I get where you're coming from.
And if you look at what they've done to the whole area of Manchester, that would have mean that they would have helped the Liverpool community as well, isn't it? Because there's a lot of rumours going around, and people who live in Liverpool, maybe we should even ask Hammers about this. Apparently, one of the things that FSG did, which was really bad, man, was kind of make the surrounding area a bit of a shithole in order to bring down prices of stuff so they could, like, do things. So, like, they didn't even help the surrounding area. Like, look what the Man City owners did for the area around the stadium.
Different conversation, though, It's a different conversation.
No, I'm not even saying it's true. I'm just saying that that's what I've heard they did as well. So, do you know what I mean? Like, whether it's true or not, if it is true, that's terrible. Like, you're not even helping the city.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if it's factual, but if it is true, then that's messed up. Man City owners have helped the whole area. So
Silver Spring says Renato Sanchez is set to join Wolves on loan from Lille. He is indeed. Looks that way. Promo says, what did Henry say to Kylian on that private jet? Probably just shook his hand and say, I'll see you in Real Madrid one day. 75 Jamrock says, Drifty, that's actually not how club sales work. Just clear that up for us, Jamrock. Marcus Barnes says, it's difficult to say for sure in the current climate. There is an owner willing to splash free bill on the club and is going to invest huge sums on players. Again, I'm almost certain there are people out there. We just don't know who they are because we don't rub shoulders with multi-billionaires. We're not in those circles, but there are people out there with that sort of money.
And it could be a bold statement me saying this, but I don't think the type of people who have 3 billion were really affected by what happened.
Yeah. Jamrock says, Cal, I don't actually have social media. Email me then, please, bro. teamkopish@gmail.com. Just drop me an email, please, bro. And then Promo says on Henry probably tried to recruit Mbappe for the Red Sox.
You know what? If people in the comments are trolling, it is a bit horrible. Please don't do it. But what they're saying is that the Bobby hamstring is saying 2 months.
I haven't seen nothing. I'm checking now. Like, there's nothing until I see something definitive. It's rumors.
Yeah, if Bobby's hamstring is 2 months, then I'm sure he wouldn't even have been able to jog off the pitch. I don't think that's
that was the only thing that I was thinking. He left the pitch quite normally. 2 months is like a grade 2 or 3, isn't it? Like, that's quite a long time. So,
would you guys be happy with Traore and Alisson Maximum this season?
100%.
Right now, yes.
So I want nothing anyway. But the way we're looking right now, and you know what? I know football fashion is always this thing that we go back to, and I kept saying to people, don't watch how bad of a season he had last year. But if anybody tells me Adama's not a good player, I'm confused. I know his end product.
We'll get that sorted, Jamro. We'll get that sorted.
No,
just say Jamro.
I know Traore's end product definitely needs to be worked on. That's an absolute fact. But if you're just talking about as a technical footballer of what he brings to a football match, the man is electric. If you don't think Adama's a good player, I don't know what you like in football.
I like someone who can be clinical or do the right decisions, Drew.
Yeah, but sometimes clinicalness comes down to stat padding. If there's other people that can do the end product part, I let him do all the other stuff, bro.
Now I'm talking about last just decisions, bro. Like even his crossing is very hit and miss.
No, I think his crossing is pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't want Adama Traore.
And you know what he does? He opens up space.
I'll take it right now because right now we ain't getting nothing.
And yeah, over that or nothing, then yeah.
We ain't getting nothing, bro. We ain't getting nothing. Minamino, new signing in them thing there.
Boy. Well, people, we're going to be back for the daily news show tomorrow. We're also going to be back in the evening for the. I don't even know why we said
we're going to call it the lack of transfer activity show.
Yeah. I know. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, why did we say we'd do this show? What we
makes no sense. We're just going to call it the lack of transfer activity show. We'll be live when there's nothing to talk about, and we can just talk about what hasn't happened.
Why, Cal? Because I can't afford a therapist. And I don't want the neighbors to be like, we just heard him talking to himself all night. Like, just all night. Like, everyone,
all we're gonna see,
everyone's just like, bro, what's going on with you? Like,
you know what's going to happen? Remember I said this, people. The best we're going to see is Divock Origi being loaned out. And then at the end of the window, they're going to get a clip of Klopp on Sky Sports News asking him, like, are you happy with the squad? Oh, we have bills to pay, and we have Minamino, and Ox false 9, and bruv, seriously, I love Jurgen, I really do, but bro, I don't want to hear figures like Ox false 9 and Minamino's gonna do a thing, and we have the squad, and
Klopp's getting to an age where you don't put this much pressure on a human,
bruv.
Like they're putting a lot of pressure on that man. Like, have you not noticed how much weight Klopp's put on since he come Liverpool? I think he's stress eating.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, as I said, people, I'm not joking. I'm actually gonna name the stream. Lack of transfer activity show.
Liverpool. He's stress eating.
He probably is stressed. He ain't eating. He ain't sleeping. All he can do is think about transfers he ain't got. But we move still.
Zota says Sarr is much better than him. Regarding Traore,
I like Sarr as well. That's another guy that you lot know.
Right now, I would take Bowen. You think he's joke? We're not signing no one.
We just need cover, and we need adequate cover.
Right now, I would re-sign Shaqiri. Like it's mad. We need a body up in there, blood. We ain't got nothing. Oh, it's mad.
Says,
Hey,
love
listen,
you.
don't get me wrong. Klopp looks great, but he also looks stressed. I don't know about you, lot, but I read his body language, and he looks stressed to me.
If we bring someone in, it's gonna be a Ben Davies type thing. Well, we don't even see man anyway. They'll be like, Liverpool went and bought such and such for like 2 mil. We don't see the brother for a year. We're gonna see him in pre-season, then he gets flogged off on loan. Nah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Promo says, love you, boys, man. This is therapy for me. It's therapy for us. Ty says, I know it's not a political channel, but what's the problem with donating to Trump? All right, so I'm just gonna
leave it. I can't bother. Leave it. Just allow it. Just allow it.
I'm just gonna say it's not for me. I'm not a fan of that. In the same way, I'm not a fan of Suarez coming back to the club for a certain reason.
Exactly. That's the best way. In fact, that's the best way of saying it.
Funny thing is, a lot of people on Twitter that was saying to me about Suarez, when I let them know about him as a person, they always like, oh, no, bro, when you put it like that, I get where you're coming from. And I think a lot of people, obviously, who might not first think it, when you just let them know, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, do you know what? I didn't actually think about that now, but you got a point. Because if you took away who he is as a person, I would have wanted Suarez to come back ages ago.
Yeah.
But you can't forget what he's like as a person, man.
Yeah, the problem with Trump, it's not just racism as well, though, is it?
Trump goes deeper than that, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. It's a lot of
But he's looking to grab certain things when we've all got sisters, aunties, cousins. Says a lot in it. Drift, I'm from Liverpool. They brought up houses, left them empty, so the property prices dropped for people living there. Those left got a good deal. Yeah,
fair enough. Like I said, I was only going off what I was reading. If it was propaganda or whatever, that's why I'm saying if someone can enlighten me differently, then cool, man.
Promo says, is that the tie from AFTV? I don't get what you mean.
What, one of us, lot, or something?
Yeah, clear.
Who's supposed to look like? I'm confused.
Tahir says, worst day ever in the market. We are a banter club. No, we're not a banter club yet.
Yeah, no, we're not a banter club.
No, we're not a banter club.
Listen, do you want to know the main reason why for this, just for right now, we're annoyed? Like, obviously, we're worried about the future, but even just for right now, because we know we're on the cusp of being able to win the league. But if something goes wrong during the season that we're not preparing ourselves for now, it's too late. And we saw this happen last year. Everyone came down on us when we were saying we should have replaced Lovren and we should have bought someone else. Everyone was like, oh, you lot are being negative, rare. And then when it all went down, nobody came and said, oh, right, we kind of got why you lot was feeling like that now. So right now, when our players go AFCON, if we get some injuries, what the hell are we going to do? You saw against Chelsea, who's going to come off the bench? Like, what if Firmino was out for 2 months?
Jamrock says, thank you. Sorry, Ty. So it's Ty that asked a question in the first place about Trump. That's where... Ty, nothing wrong with donating. It's just false, though. Again, Jamrock will definitely agree to disagree on that one when it comes to Trump. But it's not a political channel, and these are just the views of me. These do not reflect the views of Kopish. This is just the views of me, so I don't want to get into the Trump thing.
No. Do you know what? Politics is something that's for another day. Like, we're talking football, innit? Like,
yeah.
we talk about that stuff.
Hence why I'm not going to go into deep, but the internet's there, and just a quick Google search can let everyone know why so many people dislike the man. But people, tomorrow, Daily News Show, the lack of transfer show in the evening.
That's what we're calling it. I ain't joking.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If it's me tomorrow, I'm calling it the Daily Bullshit Show.
Actually, do you know what? I might call it this.
So we don't have the capacity.
I might call it that instead. I might call it Liverpool. We don't have the capacity. I think you lot would love that still.
Ason says, coming for you, Matt, on the tacky slander. Allow him.
Who's coming for me? Listen. I need
We're
to
not
go.
slandering Tacky, but he's gonna have to step up big time. That's for sure.
I need to listen. Sorry, I need to go. I know we're ending now.
Yeah, we're ending now.
What I say is this year. You see, Minamino. I'm not saying he can't be a good player, but as things stand, he hasn't played to the way how we want him to. When I consider depth, you know what? Chelsea got Pulisic, Havertz. I know Werner's dead, but you know he still offers a little something. Still got a couple of goals. Lukaku, Ziyech. When you look at us, when you go past Mane, Salah, Firmino, and Jota, it gets a bit thin, innit? Like the drop, what it is, the drop off is a bit mad, and that's why I leave it there. That's why we need someone else.
For Jamrock, that obviously answered tomorrow, bro. Yeah, and you might even have the answer. Being that Pulisic is the golden child in America, and obviously you're American yourself, how comes we didn't in any way try to bring him in because it would have been so good commercially for the best American player to play for a club who have an American owner? I was always confused by that.
That's easy.
We did try and get him.
But do you know what?
We tried to sign him when he was cheap, but I mean, when his value went up, like we didn't try and get him.
Do you want to know why we didn't try and get him?
Because we don't have the capacity.
It's true, we did try and get him. We actually tried. It just.
What you mean the summer when he left for Chelsea,
bro? Allow it, man. Let's not talk about the players we can't sign.
No, I just want to ask Jamrock why
we
didn't move harder for the biggest American star to play for an American franchise owning club. Like
I know
we can talk about it tomorrow. I'm just
100%. Now we're gonna delve into it tomorrow because 100% you're right, bro. 100%.
Peterson, would you take Buvac back instead of Pep Linders?
Ask me. I'll think about it and tell you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow, people.
Yes, from me. Not saying I don't rate Pep, but I take Buvac back. But people, that is it for today. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Enough love to everyone in the chat today. Everyone who has contributed. Smash the like though, please, people. Smash the like button if you're new. Subscribe as well.
And guys, one thing I just want to say before we go: please let Jamrock have his opinion. I get that a lot of people disagree, but don't pile on him. It's not really fair to everyone just jump on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. My people, until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish and we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.
It's